What's up, guys? This is Ruben, the Tailor from MouthGuard Out Podcast. Guess what, guys? Like always, I have another special guest, but before I introduce him, guess what? Let's go into the intro. We'll go from there. Peace. Jeff, what's
Ruben,
up, brother?
What's up, baby?
Thank you so much, man. Oh, let's do that again.
Yeah, one more time.
We'll do a bump.
We'll do a bump.
What's up, brother? Jeff.
What's going on,
We
Ruben?
have Jazzy Jeff.
Jazzy Jeff.
When I heard Jazzy Jeff, you know who I thought about, right? Jazzy Jeff from the
DJ
Fresh
Jazzy
Prince.
Jeff.
Hell
Fresh
yeah,
Prince
man.
Bel-Air. Absolutely.
But you're Jazzy Jeff Creighton, right?
Yes.
Did I say the last name
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Creighton,
you
man. Once again, you are 11-2-1.
That's correct.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy
As a professional.
As a pro.
Yeah, I'm number one.
I don't even want to ask about your amateur career. Unless
If you
want
want
to tell me.
I'll get into it.
Yeah.
No, 8-3 as an
8-3.
amateur, and then I fought 2 Ami Muay Thai fights.
Really?
Won both of those.
You know what sucks? And I think talking to Jeff Peterson, the administrator and all that, that doesn't combine.
Right.
Yeah, it's fighting. I don't get it. Why wouldn't it combine? It's just
It's
different
just
styles of fighting, or what?
Different styles of fighting, and then obviously there's a big difference between amateur and pro.
Yeah. Well, one of the things Jeff told me, well, it's like playing baseball and football. Your scores aren't going to combine.
Right.
So, but it's still fighting. It's still combat.
It's still experience.
Experience
too. At the end
too.
of the day.
But cool. So you are 11 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw.
Yep.
Really, bro? Why?
Yeah.
Why the draw?
I think this is one of the things in fighting that there
Yeah.
shouldn't be a draw. Like in general, I don't think draw should exist. If it's
Yeah.
a tied on the scorecards, we should go right into a sudden death round. And that's what kind of BKFC does,
Yeah.
I believe.
Well, you know what? And not to change the sport or anything. It's like soccer, football.
Yeah.
They have draws. They have ties. I'm like,
Right.
that shouldn't happen. There should be a
Right.
winner.
There should be a winner
There
and a
should
loser.
be a winner.
Especially in fighting. There's
Yeah.
so much effort put in
Yeah.
to a fight. There should be a definitive winner and loser at the end.
But okay, and then please correct me if I'm wrong. Once
Yes.
again, I'm not an expert at this. This is why I have fighters here so they can tell me what's going on. That means they score the fight evenly.
Correct. So they scored the fight evenly in this particular fight that you're talking about. So I lost on the scorecards the first 2 rounds,
Okay,
10-9. I don't know if you've watched the fight, but
I couldn't find that one.
yeah, it was A1 Combat for their welterweight title. I took the fight on, I think it was 2 weeks' notice.
Okay,
Against Lamar, and he basically out wrestled me the first 2 rounds.
got it.
And then the 3rd round, I absolutely obliterated him. And it was a 10-8 round on all 3, and so that was the draw.
Well, let me ask you in this aspect then. Would you rather it be a draw or a loss? Because obviously we want to win. We want everybody to win. But
I wanted to win. I mean, obviously I don't want a loss on my record.
yeah,
And I kind of look at it, that fight was supposed to happen. And it allowed my foot in the door with
Gotcha.
A1, which allowed me for more opportunities.
Yeah.
And they didn't know who I was. They just brought me in to like, hey, we wanted you to fight for the belt
yeah.
against our guy. And the way I performed, Uriah was really happy.
Yeah.
That kind of gave me my other opportunities for him.
So a draw is really not good or bad. It's just obviously it's what it is. It's in the
freaking
middle.
draw.
It's really
Yeah.
hell yeah, man. So where are you from, man? I've seen some of your video. You're all over YouTube, bro.
Oh, yeah.
You've been in this game for holy crap. I saw your latest fight with Nakashima. We'll talk about that here in a second. But then it goes to 3 years. And then it goes to 4 years. And then it goes to 5 years. I think the oldest video that I found with you was 11 years.
Yeah.
What were you, 19?
Probably 18.
18 years old.
Yep.
So this guy's been in the game for 12 years. And damn, bro.
Yeah, I'm still here.
You're still here.
Going. Yeah.
Is there and once again, please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, sure.
Is there a time in your life to where you're like, you know what, I'm good, or are you close enough to go? And I'm going to use your words in the Nakashima fight for the big show.
Yeah, I think as time has gone on,
Yeah.
I've proven to myself that I'm a tough competitor.
Yes, you are.
But I know my purpose,
Uh-huh.
and I just feel like I deserve to be on the big show, and I think I can be the best in the world.
Yeah.
I just solely
I believe it.
that. Yeah.
I believe it. Make sure you guys look up Jazzy Jeff Creighton. My favorite fight, and we're going to watch it here in a little while, is I think it was James Nakashima.
Nakashima.
Nakashima. What, is he Asian?
He is, I think, Japanese American.
Okay, because he looks white as hell. He looks like a biker.
He looks white as hell. Yeah, he looks like a biker, and then he's got the Japanese last name.
Got you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So that was kind of throwing me off when I saw it, but that was my favorite fight. And then if you don't mind, maybe later on, I want to go back to some of your epic fights.
Yes, absolutely.
Epic was your home for a long ass time.
That 4-point Sheridan has had a lot of fights in it.
Even before it was 4-point Sheridans, you were on there.
Yeah. No, I think it's been 4-point Sheridan. Man, I had my first fight back in 2014.
Yeah.
I was still in high school. So I had turned 18 when I was still a senior in high school and then decided to fight.
Where'd you go to high school?
Poway High School.
Poway High School. So you're here locally.
Yeah.
Damn. And then you train out of Dan Henderson.
I did train out of Dan Henderson.
Oh, did? Okay.
Yeah. So my story is pretty interesting. So
Yes,
when I was in high school, I kind of realized I wasn't going to wrestle in college. That was kind of just a realization that I had.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, I want to fight. That was just kind of, I've always been training a little bit of it in the off season. I was like, I definitely want to fight.
Yeah.
And so I went to the arena. I met Vince Salvador and Charles Martinez. They were my coaches for a while. And then as time went on, COVID kind of happened.
Yeah.
And I met my wife and I moved up to Valley Center. And
so COVID was a good thing for you?
COVID kind of was a good thing, yeah.
He met his wife during COVID. We're supposed to be in quarantine, bro. How the hell you meet a woman during quarantine?
I met her right before COVID.
Oh, got it.
But like, so I had moved my path. Like, I was living at the arena. I was literally living in the back of the gym. And
living there.
Oh, I was living there.
I'm thinking like you.
I had a bed in the back. Like, me and my boy Enrique were living literally in the back of the gym and training all day. And
yes, sir.
Yeah, and I was charging scooters and walking dogs for money. So, you know, it's just something I'm passionate about.
Yeah.
And so I met my wife, moved up to Valley Center. I started working a job in construction.
Okay.
And so I was working all the way in like Murrieta and Menifee area. Yeah. And so like I was not able to drive to the arena. I couldn't afford it. I just didn't have the time to train the hours that I wanted.
Yes.
So I made the move to Dan's, trained there for a while, and now I'm actually back at the arena. Just decided to go back. It was just time for me.
But you still have close connections to Dan Henderson.
Absolutely.
And all that. Okay, cool.
Oh, absolutely.
One of the things that I've noticed about fighters or just fighters in general is there's no beef between you guys. You know, a lot of times you guys go to different gyms to cross train, and it's one of those, hey, I know you're a fighter, I know a fighter. There's no, you guys don't want to waste time with beef. It's not like you know wrestling back in the day, WWF. I don't want to get you. I want to get you in the ring. Yeah, it's not like that in there. And I've noticed that even after the fight, you guys are just cool. Like, hey, thank you so much for the fight, man. We'll see you soon, whatever. And that's one of the reasons why this podcast is, for me, it's popular because I need to get into that head. Because I was talking to him earlier and I had mentioned I actually live through these fighters because I don't want to fight. I don't want to get punched in the head and definitely don't want to get kicked in the head. And this is why I want to pick his brain so I could actually dissect it. And I'm like, okay, they are crazy.
Yeah, hell yeah, for sure. You're absolutely right about that.
Speaking of crazy, man, I mean, is there any, I don't know, man, walk me through, if you don't mind, about fight day.
Yeah, fight day's a special day, man.
Really?
Yeah, I love fight day. So
I'm going to include your wife here. Yeah. How does she feel? Let's talk about your wife.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking your wife's name, you don't have to say it. Haley.
Yes.
What does Haley think? Haley, shout out to Haley.
Absolutely.
How you doing?
Yeah.
What does Haley think that morning where I got to make his coffee, I got to make this because later on he's going to be in a cage, literally.
Yeah, so she's been supportive, nothing but supportive through this whole entire journey. And she's the best wife any fighter could ever have.
Good.
She totally supports me.
Yeah.
During fight day, she's a little bit of a head case, kind of like everybody, you know, and like my team's a little different. So when I go to these fights, it's not just me and my coach.
Yeah.
My whole family from East Coast, West Coast, we roll out. We went to Texas for this last fight with Nakashima, and we were like 25 people deep, 20 people deep from all over the country who really have been a part of this journey.
Were you the main event?
I was,
because you were
I've been the main event, dude. I've been the main event for a minute now.
Yeah, dude.
I think my last 4 fights have been the main event,
and that was melee.
Yeah, melee
in Texas.
Melee FC. Yes.
You know what sucks, and once again, I'm just trying to live through you.
Yeah.
you have to go to Texas to fight. You got to go to wherever in the United States.
Yeah.
Not only do you have to focus on your training, but you also have the jet lag, the travel, not sleeping in your own bed, tasting different foods. I'm like, a lot of times I don't know if you're scared to eat something because it's not in your hometown or it's not. How does that?
No,
let's go back to the fight day with you.
So, yeah.
Shout out to Haley one more time.
Shout out to Haley. Yeah. Yes. And also for this last fight, like I went out to Texas.
Yeah.
I had all my boys who actually moved from Dan's to Texas, and they were training at Iron Forge Gym in Austin, Texas.
You know what?
Yeah.
John Bromley moved.
John Bromley, dude. John Bromley is my guy. Shout out to John Bromley.
John Bromley.
Dude, yeah, so that whole fight week, I stayed with John and Mason in their apartment.
Really?
I had a meal prep company through them that they knew. So I was set. Like I was dialed in the entire week. Yeah. I also had my boy Ryan Reynolds, the Ryan Reynolds. I want to shout him out. Yeah. He's my handler. He's literally got the title. He's the handler.
Ryan Reynolds, the actor?
No, he's better than that guy.
Actor,
yeah, for sure.
He's probably prettier too. Right?
Yeah, probably, dude. He's got luscious locks, bro.
Yeah, bro.
But he's like went out with me and like I called him the handler because he just handles the issues as they come. I'm just focused on fighting, and making weight the entire week, and we just hung out with John and Mason.
That is sick.
Yeah, it was a great experience. Yeah. And the gym that hosts the fights, who basically promotes, is Iron Forge, and they let me train there all week. Shout out to Iron Forge. And they made me feel at home. I got to train all week.
That's
get ready
exactly
for the
what
fight.
I'm talking about.
And so,
it's one of those that are like, oh no, that's Jazzy Jeff. I don't want him in the gym. Or they welcome you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Holy
and
shit.
I felt at home there. Like I was like, man, I'm the main event, and they're treating me like I'm the main event.
So the only thing you really have to worry about is the fight and the jet lag that you have.
Yeah, pretty much all I had to worry about was training the once a day, doing what I needed to do, cut weight, and make weight and fight.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Right before you walk into the cage.
Yeah.
Are you pumped? Are you nervous? Or I don't know.
Yeah. So I would say like some fighters do it differently in the back.
Yeah.
I'm kind of on my own frequency, if you will. And I do that by doing some breath work. And like I have my warm up written out. And I think a lot of fighters make this mistake. They just kind of go into the fight not knowing what they're going to do in their back. Like with their coaches, they're kind of like, oh, let's just see how we feel, you know? Like, what do you want to do? Yeah. And fighters haven't ever even thought about what they want to do.
Got it.
And this game is 90% mental. I mean,
it is.
And the mental clarity and like how you want to feel before you go into the fight is all kind of dictated by what you do in the back. No, and absolutely. So I think fighters just fall.
And when you mean the back, behind the scenes, right before the fight,
behind the curtains in the locker room. Yeah.
How long are you waiting there before they call your name?
Dude, when you're in the main event 4 times in a row.
Oh no shit!
Yeah, you're the last guy in the locker room every single time.
I want to be the prelim so I can get it over and get the hell out
and get some beer. Yeah, hang out with your boys. Yeah. Damn, so it's a lonely world back there when you're the main event. Yeah.
Do you take naps or anything?
Yeah, but like, it's one of those things I do. I think my warm up starts like three fights before mine.
Okay.
You know, my hands are wrapped. I start doing some breath work just to like kind of zone in. And then I have my warm up written out.
Okay.
So I know exactly what I'm doing. And with that, I'm like, all right, the final touches are made. Like I'm confident going in there and I'm feeling the way I want to feel.
Got you.
And I think that's why I've been so successful.
You have. And that's one of the things I always see the confidence when you're in the ring.
Yeah.
And then Nakashima was your last fight, right?
Yes.
So I saw the confidence and I'm like, the fight didn't even start yet.
Yeah.
Oh, this guy's going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw, with all respect to Nakashima, he was kind of, I don't know, he was stiff.
Yeah.
Once again, I'm not an expert here. I'm just seeing as a spectator. He was kind of stiff. He was kind of, jumpy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Where you were just like...
Yeah. I think that fight, it was just a very...
Did you feel that? Or
I felt that he was a bit nervous. And I think he was a bit nervous. And then he was also... This was his first fight since being in one championship.
Really?
Yeah, because he fought for the world title for one championship. He's a very like legitimate fighter. Okay. And so like he fought for the big stage for a while for one.
Got it.
And then one let him go. And then they were looking to have him fight. And so my buddies from that moved out to Texas, John and them were like, hey, they're looking for a 170.
Yeah.
Is that for this main event?
Is that what you fight at?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a welterweight. Yeah, welterweight.
Oh, cool.
And so I was like, yeah, I'll take the fight. Wow. I would love to fight a guy like that who has that background. So
I haven't been 170 since 1994 when I was in Marine Corps.
You and a whole lot of other people.
Hell yeah. Now, just to shift gears real quick.
Yeah.
You were born you used to live in Jacksonville, North Carolina.
That's correct. That's where I say I'm from.
Yeah.
I was born technically in Laguna Hills.
Laguna Hills.
But like I lived there for like 3 months and then we were off to Jacksonville.
You were 6 months old when
yeah, like 3 to 6 months old. I don't quite remember.
What year was that?
Ooh, that was 95. I was born in 95.
I was there from 94 to 97, bro.
Okay. Yeah, so we were in Jacksonville at the same time then.
I was there when you were born.
Yeah.
And funny story is, Omar Riyad, the lion.
Yes.
He was born in 2004 in Baghdad. I was in Baghdad in
Holy
2004,
crap.
bro. Look how this community just brings us together. I had nothing to do with fighting.
Crazy.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think fighting brings everybody together.
Yeah.
Because me as the spectator, I do train. I'm not an expert. I do boxing, but seeing you guys, seeing behind the scenes, like, my favorite fight in the world was David Momo Morales. He just fought at Cage Warriors yesterday. Congratulations for the fight. Unfortunately, he didn't win, but
it's a great fight.
Congratulations. But he fought John Bromley.
Yes, which was a great fight also.
That was a fucking great fight, dude.
Fight.
I didn't know who won.
I think it was a very back and forth fight.
It was. I'm like, and those two guys are tall as hell.
They're big.
I think Bromley had him by 4 inches or 3 to 4 inches.
I'm just surprised. Dave's a lot bigger than I thought he was.
Yeah.
And I met him at the last fight. At Omar's fight, and I was like, oh wow, he's pretty big.
Wow.
And it was last time was a great fight for him.
Yeah, and what's funny is when I saw your the melee fight, Bromley was there walking next to you. I'm like, that's Bromley.
Bromley's my guy.
Hell yeah.
Mason Acabellis and John Bromley.
I've never
Trevor
met
Wells.
Mason. I never met those guys.
Mason, me and Mason kind of come from like the same group of people as far as like guys coming through Epic at the same time. He fought on Epic at kind of the same time. It was like me, him, Trevor Wells. Yeah. So like that was kind of the group of guys. And then when I went to Dan's, they were all at Dan's. So then I got closer with those guys.
Absolutely.
And John's still an amateur, but he's, right there. Mm-hmm. And man, it's just friends for life.
No, absolutely.
Through this game. Yeah.
I mean, I look at it, and once again, me being in the military, and I'm not trying to compare the veterans to fighting, but I would say it's the same brotherhood.
Camaraderie,
brotherhood. I just met this guy probably about 30 minutes ago, but if something were to happen, I would take a bullet for you, and I'm pretty sure you do the same thing for me, but I let him do it for me first. He knows how to fight.
That's easy.
Hey, go ahead and get him, Jeff.
Yep,
I'll stand right here. Let me know. I don't want to get my suit dirty. Hell yeah, Barrow. Hell yeah. Well, if you don't mind, man, I would love to do a toast with you.
Sure, absolutely.
Pellegrino, sponsor the show like always. I always want to make sure this company sponsors me, but
I'm gonna get it right here.
Yeah, brother.
Get the logo right there.
Look at this. Get that logo. Hey. So eventually this show will blow up, but salute. Cheers, brother.
Cheers, brother.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Beautiful.
Hell yeah. Now let's go back to Epic.
Yeah.
Because
Epic days.
I like Epic.
I love Epic.
It's small. It's comfortable. It's not like an arena. And believe it or not, when I went to Cage Warriors, have you ever been there?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I like that place.
It's great. I like the ballroom.
Yep.
I think Cage Warriors, as far as like the production value, is very good.
Yes, very good.
And that venue is just really cool.
I like Spar Star too, but it's just too big.
Yeah, Commerce is huge.
Yes, that's
and Commerce is always having fights. They're busy like every weekend.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But Epic, when I went, and I think I went to go see Nasty Nate Jarquin and then David Morales.
Okay.
I like that venue because I was literally this close to the cage.
Yeah.
And then now knowing that you've been there, that was basically your second home. And I mean, not literally, but you were fighting there a lot. I think you fought there 11 times.
I think I took.
But that was amateur.
I don't think it was that many times. I definitely didn't fight all 11 fights there.
Okay.
But a lot of lessons learned in that 4-point Sheridan.
Well, it's funny. Cage. And the reason I say that, because I was stuck in this guy. I went on your Tapology.
Okay.
And you see epic.
Every time.
I think I just lost count. So it could be anywhere between less than 10, but yeah, man. Good times there.
Absolutely.
You know Jason Stewart, know that?
Of course, yeah.
He was actually at Cage Warriors last night.
Okay. Yeah, I know him and I know Harvey pretty well. Yeah, and just
Harvey
Castellano.
Harvey Cast.
Harvey Cast.
There it is. He posts a lot of videos, And I've used some of his videos, but don't worry about me. I do give you the credit in the videos, man. So don't think I'm trying to bootleg your stuff, man. Hell yeah. How do you know Jeff Peterson?
So I know Jeff Peterson through Omar. So Omar was my student at Dan's.
So you were coaching too?
I was coaching at Dan's for a minute. So I had the amateur team. I was the coach of the amateur team there. And so Omar and his brother joined the gym. Were some of my best students. And so we hit it off. Yeah. Omar and Khalid are like my little brothers. That's what I take them under my wing. And so when I kind of went to the arena, he went to Valiant.
Yes.
So that kind of split happened. I'll call it what it is. It's a little bit of a split.
It happens. Life happens.
Yeah. We took different paths, as far as gyms go.
And he left because his parents had to move. That's course. Right. So he already left because
I left for a completely different reason.
Yeah.
But he left because his parents had to move. Of course. And so even though that I'm not his coach anymore, he's got Jeff Peterson. And so we got the corner together.
And you know what's funny? When I had Omar here on the podcast, he goes, what's funny is my old coach was Jeff. Now I have a new Jeff. This is the Jeff he was talking about. So if you guys want to go refer back, hell yeah. And did you ever do Bellator?
I did. I had one fight with Bellator.
Yeah,
actually, me and Jeff have a similar Jeff Peterson have a similar opponent.
He's not speaking in the third person.
Yeah, right? I swear. Yeah,
The Rock says. All right. Yeah.
No. So Jeff fought Joey Davis. I fought Joey Davis. So we have a similar opponent that we both fought.
Fuck yeah.
At one point. So
you guys have notes to talk about.
Oh yeah.
What was the time difference between the fights?
I'm not sure exactly when he fought, but when I was getting ready for Joey, I was watching all of Joey's fights. I was doing film study, and of course I watched that fight. So and I just took from that fight. I took that, Joey, he's an explosive fighter, and he's got good wrestling, but he's also got good striking.
I've heard that word before, explosive. Yeah. That means the first round he just gives you all he can, or
I would just say he's just a really good athlete. Like he's explosive off his feet. He can jump real high. He's just real explosive, and he can not put your lights out.
Yeah.
So
what about LFA? Have you done LFA?
I have. I fought for LFA too. So I fought this last March in Santa Cruz. I took a fight for them on couple weeks notice against their guy, and I did really good. And so I haven't fought for them again. Some reasons for that. Yeah, but it was a fight again. I kind of got brought in there to their guy, and I performed my ass off, and I looked really good in that fight.
So you have different championships from different promotions, right?
Yeah. So
because I know you have Melee.
Yeah. I have Melee technically right now, and then I was the A1 Combat welterweight champ for a minute.
What about Epic?
So Epic as an amateur, actually, I did not win the Epic belt.
No,
I was I fought for Park Nightclub. That was like a promotion they kind of had just briefly. Yeah, I had their belt, and then there was a fight night in Irvine.
So you have a bunch of belts at home, don't you?
Yeah, I got a bunch. I got it. Well, so my amateur belts are all at my mom's, and then I have my A1 Combat belts in my trailer, and then my Melee belts at my gym at the arena in the back room. Yeah,
that is sick.
So yeah,
do you ever wear them?
No, I'm not. You know what? I'm kind of one of those guys. I'm never really satisfied.
Yeah.
Some guys, they be wearing their belt I'll wear the belt to bed that night. That's it. But that's it. You're not going to catch
me up next to it.
Exactly. Just cuddling it, dude. That's it. But that's my one time with it. And then I'm like, all right, that's time for the next belt. Yeah.
Hell yeah. Yeah. Yep. Now, really quick, Jeff, how do you prepare mentally? Because obviously the physical is a training.
Yes.
And I heard you say something earlier that it's 90% mental.
Yes.
But it's also 10% physical.
Correct.
Where in reverse, training is 90% physical, 10% mental, because you're listening to your coaches, you're doing drills, you're doing blah, blah, blah. Right. But how do you mentally prepare? And I think it's a redundant question to the first one I asked you when you go to the cage, but mentally, are you focused? Here, let me give you a quick scenario.
Sure.
I was in combat. I was in Iraq.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I always did before we went into Fallujah, before we went into combat, whatever, is I make my mind go numb. I wanted to erase. I don't care about my dog at home. I don't care about my girlfriends. I don't care about my parents. I wanted to be numb. So when I go there, all the training just, for loss of better words, gets downloaded in my head.
Yeah.
That was my mentality. If you can explain to me really quick, what's your mental preparation before you go in? Either you're climbing up the stairs or do you do the lap around?
Yeah, I do the lap around.
Yeah.
But I think when I walk out, I've visualized it so many times before it even happens.
Yeah.
Like, so even like the day before, like day of weigh-ins, if they'll let me into the venue, I'll spend 20 or 30 minutes there with headphones in.
Really?
Just making that walk. Yeah.
Inside the ring or
I'll
in the cage?
I'll walk all the way from the stage all the way to the ring and just be like, okay, and I've it's just that mental training and those things that some guys just aren't willing to do or just they don't think of.
Yeah.
That's what makes me different. That's what's made me successful.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I will spend time like from the LFA fight. I went with my brother. The venue was right down the street from our Airbnb. I weighed in. We literally went to the venue to check it out. I spent 30 minutes with my headphones just making that walk.
Inside.
I did it like 10 times. And I was like, okay, I'm good.
Do you do some shadow boxing or anything while you're in there?
Yeah. With my brother. Yeah. I got in there and just moved around and felt the canvas below my feet and just like felt my corner and just like those kind of things. Felt the cage, like bounced against the cage to see how much
just
bounce.
to feel the spring, to feel the grip with your feet.
For sure.
Really?
These are all little things, yeah.
Son of a bitch. Can you guys hear that, guys? So that's, I can see that.
Yeah.
Even the smell of the canvas, even the smell of, I don't know if they're called turnbuckles. I know that's in boxing.
Yeah, no, that's a good, it's like the pillars of the cage.
The pillars of the cage.
Yeah.
You bounce off of it, feel it.
Yep.
Feel your back against the cage.
Yeah.
But
really, that visualization is very key.
Wow.
So when you do get there, I do have a similarity where like your mind does kind of go numb. And when I'm in there and I'm looking across at the other guy, like it's not that I'm trying to intimidate him at all. Like we're gonna fight.
Yeah.
I don't really care about that. But I will let him know that this is my house. I'm here. And
hence the whole Nakashima. I saw that. I saw that right before you even started. I said, he's gonna win.
Yeah. It's just like I'm here to win.
Yeah.
And I let everybody know that. And I let my training do the talking. Like the fight is won but way before the fight even happens.
Once the referee puts his hand down to fight, do you want to just get it over with and saying, or you want to go through the?
No, I'm good. I'm good to go through the gauntlet. And this is one of those things that I'm kind of hypercritical on.
Yeah.
The last couple fights, if you look at my Tapology, I haven't gotten the finish, and that does bother me.
Really?
Yeah, the last 4 fights, and I think that's part of the reason why I'm not getting the call at the moment. It's one of those things that kind of eats at me.
Now, I'm going to keep referencing the Nakashima fight.
Yeah.
Because that was my favorite fight of yours, by the way.
Yeah.
So I'm a fan. I'm a big cheerleader for him now. You guys do 5 minutes. 5-minute rounds.
Yes.
Or 5 rounds, 5 minutes.
Each.
You know what's funny is when I started watching it, after the 3rd round, I'm like, you sat down and I'm like, wait, hold on, it's not over yet. And then I look, it was 4 rounds and then 5 rounds.
Yeah.
Holy shit. So your endurance has to be
very good.
Very good.
Very good.
Now, really quick, would you rather have 3 or 5 minutes? And then really quick, before you answer that.
Yeah.
When do you go from 3 to 5 minutes?
Okay, so you go from 3 rounds to 5 rounds.
Okay, 3 to 5 rounds.
For championship fights.
Got it.
So like for A1 combat, when I defended my belt, I went 5 rounds.
Okay.
This last fight for Melee, I went 5 rounds.
You went 5 rounds, yeah.
So I think this is where I'm kind of in a league of my own as far as the regional scene goes, respectively, because most guys before they go to the big show, they don't have championship fights.
Yes.
And against very good competition too. Yeah. So I think that's a feather in my cap that when I get to those big championship fights in the UFC or whatever major organization, I know I'm prepared for them.
Yeah.
I've been through them, and most guys don't even get one before they get to that show. I've gotten 2. So,
shit, man. Now earlier you said, and it's still stuck in my mind, is you haven't got that call.
Yeah.
Because you're not doing what?
I just think the last 4 fights, I just haven't finished the opponent. I think the UFC is really looking for finishes. And I get it.
Yeah.
And I'm hypercritical, but you also have to look at who these guys are fighting.
Yeah.
I'm fighting the best guys.
You are.
Yeah, and that's why I'm number 1 in California.
Yeah.
Nobody in California will fight me, and then I have to go to Texas to go fight.
Are you? Oh shit!
Yeah,
so
that's why I haven't been fighting on up next.
So your matchmakers can't
lights out,
bro. We can't get nobody. hey, get your ass to Texas. Get your ass. I think Virginia.
Yeah.
And Florida too, right?
I fought in Maryland.
In Maryland? Yep,
yeah, I fought in Maryland, and then I fought in Arkansas.
California guys, what the hell, bro? He's right here, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
I think everybody knows I'm a tough fight for everybody.
Yeah.
And, I'm very well rounded. I can go all the rounds very hard.
Yeah.
Even better if it's a championship fight.
You know what's funny is we were texting back and forth, and I told him, I said, hey, I think your Nakashima fight was fire. And you said I should have finished him. And I said, no, bro, you're good, bro.
Yeah.
For me, the finishes are cool.
Yeah.
Second round, third round, but I like to get my money's worth, man.
Oh, for sure.
If I want to pay a lot of money to be there, like yesterday, I'm not going to say the amount, but I paid a lot of money to be there. And David, I love you. But first round, 45 seconds, and I'm like, really, bro? But hey, I know that.
Actually, that was kind of the theme of last night. It seemed like everybody was a first round finish.
Hell yeah.
It was crazy. I don't think I've ever seen a fight card like that.
No, it wasn't. So. I think, you are fucking right.
Yeah, it was. I think every fight was a first round finish. It's exciting, and it makes it for an early night, which is good.
It's true. And what's funny is as soon as the fight would end, they would just play music longer because they had to catch up. Like, oh, we didn't think it was going to fight that much.
Yep.
And not to bring up any other fighters, but there was one fight that intrigued me last night, and it was the Xavier Vines.
Yes,
that
what a great
fight with Navarrete. Oh my God! Hey, shout out to both the fighters, but Vines, I need you on the podcast, brother, because he was in the Marine Corps, and that's one of the biggest things.
Former Marine.
Former Marine, and he came out with the flag, and I'm like, so everybody in the actual audience were like, Marines, shit like that. So it brought out the dog in me.
Yeah.
But yeah, good fight. And you said you watched it also, right?
Oh, I watch all the fights.
Did you watch the Orozco fight?
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, I left earlier.
I think I watched, or maybe I didn't watch that particular fight just because I was at dinner.
Yeah.
Running around, but I saw the finish.
Got you.
And then I got back to my place and watched the main event. Which was Lily and Wilson.
We left after Vines and Navarrete because everybody crowds out, parking, valet, so I was like, hey, let's get out of here soon.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like a sports game. You leave on the 6th inning.
And we get home early.
Absolutely, man. Yep. Cool. Well, thank you so much again, brother, for coming here, taking the time.
Yeah. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Really appreciate it. Yeah.
If you don't mind, man, I want to go into some of your fights.
Sure.
And I actually have one of them queued up. And obviously, I want to do my favorite fight, which is the Nakashima.
Yeah.
And like I always ask everybody, I want you to be the commentator for your own fight.
Okay.
So if you were,
man, this is gonna be tough. I've never had anybody do this for me before.
Yeah, right. If you were a commentator and says, hey, tonight Jazzy Jeff Creighton's going to be fighting, I want you to pretend that you're seeing him fight.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? You don't know him. You just know him.
Yeah, this is going to be crazy.
That's definitely third person there.
We'll try it.
Let's do it, right? It's like seeing, it's weird to see yourself. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So let me pull it up. All right, guys. So I actually have the fight in the background. I am going to be superimposing it here, and I am going to be giving credit to the looks Melee Fight 3.
Yes.
And this was in Texas, right?
Yeah, in Austin, Texas.
Was this Halloween?
No. So the owner is this guy named Mizkif. He's like a Twitch streamer.
Okay.
Kind of guy. And so the ring girls were dressed as characters of some sort of thing. So that's what the theme was of the ring girls. Yeah.
Oh, okay. There you go.
That's my brother. That's Josh. And there's Brumley right there. Hell yeah. There's my coach Vince right there.
Cool.
Yeah. Actually, nobody really knows when I walked out.
Uh-huh.
I wear Crocs when I rock out. I need to shout out Crocs. Please give me the sponsorship. I deserve it.
Sky Pellegrino.
Yeah. So I walked out. I take the first step when they told me to walk. My Croc fell off.
Okay.
So I had to step back, slide the Croc back on. It kind of halted me from getting down the tunnel.
You didn't put him in 4x4 mode?
I think I had him in sport. I had him in sport mode. They still fell off. So I was like, oh my gosh.
Shit.
But yeah, the weird thing about Crocs too, your feet get sweaty.
Yeah.
And then when you walk with them, they just slide. Yep, they slid right off. Yep.
Hell yeah. So this is right before the cage. So
yeah.
Once again, that's your mind just. I see you breathing.
Yeah, my mind's kind of taking a switch, taking a flip here, and I'm just comfortable. One thing that I do, and you'll see it here in a second, is when I walk up to the steps, I kind of just take a moment. I try to take a moment and just take it all in. We only get so many opportunities. Like right here, I just take in the crowd. I take in everything. and just give it a moment. Because once you get going, there's no, you're not able to take in anything. You know, you're kind of numb to the situation.
Were you hitting pads in the back or anything?
Yeah, I was hitting pads and doing like shadow boxing.
Yeah.
And then doing certain like grappling, like get ups. That was really important for this fight. And so, yeah, like I said, I had my warm up kind of written out, and I knew what I was going to do.
Is there anybody here that?
Yeah, Chase Hooper in the UFC. He just beat Clay Guida.
Okay.
He was on the far right. He was on the commentating team.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's James.
Did you talk to him after the fight?
No. You know, man, this is one of those things. Like, yeah, we're all cool.
Yeah.
But I don't really care to talk to my opponents in a weird way. And it's not that I don't, and I have before, but it's like, listen, you've tried to come in here and kind of take what's mine and think you're better than me. And like, what am I going to say that's going to make you feel any better? You know what I mean? In that instant moment. So I kind of give them space and just kind of let them, you know, take it. That guy just threw water all over the place. His water bottle's wide open. He doesn't know it.
Yeah.
That was crazy. But yeah, he's a seasoned vet. That was the one thing. I had a lot of respect for him going into the fight just because I know how tough he is. He's a former LFA champ.
Okay.
Fought for the one world title. Like, his skill set is very good as far as grappling goes. Yeah. So I gave him the respect and trained real hard for this fight.
I mean, once again, no disrespect to him, but he to me as a spectator, he felt kind of stiff.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why
I think that's kind of how he is.
Okay, got it. It's the first time I've seen him fight.
Yeah, and this is the one.
He has age on you too.
Oh yeah. He's 35. He's been in there. I think he was like 13-3. So he's got a little bit more fights than me too.
Wow.
So he was a, you know,
you're almost tied up.
Tied up. Yeah. I was 10-2 at the time. He's like 13-3.
Okay.
So, but they were saying like, hey, nobody really wants to fight this guy, and I was like, man, please, like, good opportunity.
Do you have to use their shorts and gloves?
Yes.
You have to.
Yes. So that was one thing that was a little different about their promotion. Okay. But if you give them enough notice, they would put your sponsors on the shorts.
Oh, okay.
I just didn't have any sponsors.
Yeah, at the time.
But everything was run really professionally.
Good.
As far as Melee goes, like, they're like kind of the new hotbed in Texas. Yeah. You know, with Fury, there's a lot of big shows there, like Fury.
Did you meet James before that, or did you know about him?
Yeah. So we had they were the first like I guess regional promotion to have like press conference. So we had a press conference the day before.
Oh, like
Wayne's.
An actual UFC
fight. Yeah, and so I got to like meet him.
Okay.
And sit across from him and talk about like our fight and stuff like that. Oh. And he's just a very, I would just say low energy person. Like
did he talk shit to you?
No, not at all. He wouldn't even say that much. That's the thing. Like they would ask him questions, and his answers would be very vague, like a couple words, and that would be
soft spoken,
very soft spoken, and just like there'd be a couple words, and that's it.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like hard to like have any banter back and forth with him.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, not that there needed to be any banter, but like I kind of like when people talk a little bit.
You know what's funny is Jeff Peterson had a fight with I forgot the guy's name.
Yeah.
And he goes up to him. He goes, "You ready for tomorrow? Too bad I'm gonna fuck you up." It's like, what are you, Apollo Creed and Rocky and shit, man? Come on, bro.
Yeah. Well, I've fought in better.
And he beat the shit out of him too. By the way.
I've fought in better when guys do talk a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They always lose too.
Yeah, and it just gives me that little bit of edge. Like, yep. And again, here I'm just kind of taking a moment in.
Yeah.
And just like, you soak it up. I enjoy this. You know what I mean? Like, I get to do this. I think
you shave your head?
I did for this fight.
Okay,
yeah. It was just cheaper, honestly, to do that and get a nice haircut.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Who cut your hair, Bromley?
Probably me. Me and my wife. Yeah, probably.
Was she there?
She was here for this fight. She came out. Yeah. My whole family. Like, I have, no joke, I had like 25 people there.
Oh, that's good.
We got a huge Airbnb. Like, I don't stay at a hotel. Like I stay at an Airbnb. I'm so blessed to have like my mom and dad super supportive, and my family's just
so everybody's like, you better win.
Oh, it's a family reunion, dude. Yeah, and there is a bit of pressure going in when you have that much family there, you know.
Oh, that's cool.
But I keep succeeding, so I don't mind it.
Yeah, and you are taller than him.
Yeah, and here I'm just letting them know like it's not any bad blood. It's just like, hey, I'm here to win.
It's a job.
It's a job. Yeah, and I love it, and I'm just a crazy competitor, and I'm just not gonna lose. That's my mindset going into any of these fights. Man. And I like to start off fast. Like I'm going right at him right away, trying to keep the center, dude. So this was this part of the fight. I was already a little bit worried because we were planning on throwing the teep because it's a much linear kick, much harder to catch.
A what?
a linear kick. So it's straight.
Oh,
it's
you
straight
said teep.
up. Teep. Yeah, so front kick.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. That's like the Thai word for front kick.
Got it.
So instead
I don't know this terminology.
No, and so instead of throwing the round kick, which guys throw, it's a lot easier to catch.
Got it.
So teep is like a lot more linear. We thought that would,
and plus you can't see it coming because it's coming straight at you.
Exactly. So I thought it would be better to throw that. He caught the first one, and then we go with this first round. I had to kind of make some adjustments because I think I throw it again and he catches it again.
Okay.
And so you'll see. But it was really frustrating because I was like, that was one of my main weapons I was planning on opening up with. That wasn't working. And, he hit me with a couple good shots. In this first, again, there it is. He caught it again. Good thing my takedown defenses was just so good. And that's one of those things I'm really well known for.
I noticed you're kick heavy too.
I'm pretty kick heavy.
Yeah.
And
you do a lot of them in this fight.
He just missed there with the spinning elbow.
You can do that in pro?
Oh yeah, you can elbow guys in the head. Oh yeah,
you can't do it in amateur, huh?
No,
that's why.
Yeah, that's why it's a little different than epic. That you've probably seen more amateur fights than pro. But here I was just more just putting some pressure on him, and getting him to like react and wrestle was kind of a big part of our game plan because I wanted to get him tired, and the knees of the body. I was really throwing a lot of knees in this fight, which kind of played into his game a bit because it allowed him to clinch and like then try to wrestle. So it wasn't necessarily the right option all the time, but it did pay off, going to the body early. Yeah. And here, like, I think one thing that I could just do better is to obviously turn him off the cage, but also break away and look for strikes. I think that's a big part of why a lot of my fights go to decision. Yeah. It's because these guys are trying to grapple, dude.
You do that a lot.
Push on the face. Yeah, and a lot of guys don't really do that. They don't, a lot of guys don't do that when guys get double underhooks on them.
Is that to strain his neck for pain?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. It's just to misalign the neck. He gets looking up,
and then he'll just let go.
He's just much harder for him to take me down. The only thing I have to worry about is him shucking me by and trying to take my back. But I know that. I know that as I'm doing this technique.
Got it.
And it opens up. I kicked it. I wish the camera angle was a little quicker. I kicked him square in the head there, and he took it like a champ.
Well, I know you opened him up.
Oh, yeah.
I think there was a fourth round.
Yeah, I opened him up. Yeah, that was the only thing that was bothering me was the inside leg kick.
Yeah. From
the rear leg, and he did a good job of throwing it. But I took his best punch, and I felt his power, and I was kind of like, they're not shots that are going to drop me.
You know what's funny? That's the second time I've heard a fighter say that.
Yeah, I took his best punch, and I just was like,
I'm good. Okay, I'm good. You gauge after that.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and I don't tell people to go take people's best punch and see if you last, but I definitely, with the pressure that I was putting, it was just bound to happen. And when it did, I was like, oh no, these are shots that I can keep moving forward and keep implementing my game.
Is there any things you're doing right there? I swear I thought you tapped out right there.
Oh no, I was just open palm bitch slapping him a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, to open things up. And sometimes those are just annoying. And like that makes him want to kind of like make space.
Okay.
And then I'm able to, use my feet here and kind of extend and wrestle up.
Got it.
And here I'm just keeping my hands in front. Yeah, now I'm looking for the underhook.
Give me some techniques or tips, not tips, but moves that you're doing there, like guillotine or whatever.
Yeah, really. I'm on the bottom. I'm not very good at like submissions. I'm more like I just need to get back to my feet.
Okay.
So I use frames with my arms to frame and then look to get my bottom leg out so I can stand up.
Got it.
And that's a lot of my game. I think here I almost land the nice elbow. Yeah, man, I just missed that elbow. We were drilling that from like the 50-50, that pummel. If I can get that overhook hand inside, that'll make him want to pummel with the other side, and then I can throw that elbow off the break. And it just didn't land. But it's one of those techniques that I use a lot of.
So there's certain techniques that you do that he has to escape a certain way, and that's going to leave him open or whatever, right?
Yeah, in wrestling we call this pummeling. You might see it where guys are pummeling underhook for underhook.
Okay.
And so in that pummel, I bring my hand inside to look like I'm getting double unders, and they want to do the same thing on the other side.
Yeah.
So when I get that hand in, and if I feel him look to pummel in, then I can throw the elbow.
Got it.
Off that side. And my style is very knee and elbow heavy.
Yeah.
I trained with Nathan Corbett for a while. He's an 11-time world champ in Muay Thai. Very just the Thais called him Golden Elbow.
Okay.
He's an Australian guy. Very, very vicious.
Wow.
If you ever get a chance to look up Nathan Corbett highlights, very good. And so training with him, just very elbow and knee heavy, which is great. But then when you're going against these wrestlers, it also puts you in that clinch and allows them to work as well.
Who are these guys in your corner?
Yeah, so I got my brother on the right there.
That guy?
Yeah, so he's actually in the Air Force. He's
really
TAC P. Yeah,
all right, Air Force.
Yeah, shout out. Yeah, my brother. Yeah, he's a TAC P. He's been in my corner for a lot of my fights. I just have like my brother knows me so well, and we're completely different people. Like he's not. He hasn't followed in my footsteps, but like. He's been in there. We used to like fight in the garage and like fight each other a good bit and play sports together. And so we just really know each other really well. And just having him in my corner keeps me like calm. Like I'm like, I know he knows me really well. And like nobody wants to lose in front of their little brother, you know? Like I've kind of like tried to take him under my wing as my little brother. And so I'm like, I'm not losing in front of my little brother. Where does he live? He lives in Colorado right now.
Okay.
He's about to get stationed actually back in North Carolina.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, and then my head coach is Vince Salvador. And he's he
was the shorter guy at the end.
Yes. Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, and also in this fight, it was one of the first times I fought a southpaw, who was this wrestling heavy. And so when you have like that mixed lead stance, there's the push on the face, and then I'm looking to push on the face and then bring my head underneath his chin. Yeah, and that So
I'm trying to make the movement.
Yeah,
here.
so once my arms are getting pushed up, I'm pushing on his face and bringing my head underneath his chin to get him real tall.
Oh, to hold him.
Yeah, so he can't take me down. It's much harder to take me down that way.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so it's just like little things like that where.
And that's just all training.
Yeah, it's all training and just like I've watched his fights. I know what he's gonna do. And like I knew that this situation would come up a lot in this fight.
Wow.
Yeah, And right here, I'm just working. I changed stances here.
That's him right there.
Yeah, working from southpaw and orthodox, trying to find openings.
Okay.
Using my jab, like right there, beautiful. Finding the cross, trying to find a path for that cross to land. And then when his back hits the cage, I really like throwing that knee up the middle to try to like have him bounce off the cage and then meet the knee. Ooh. That's when you get like the best reaction. Yep. Yeah. Obviously here in this fight, I just didn't really land it flush until the fourth round. At the end of the fourth round.
Wow.
But again, this fight it's one of those fights that I think from a fan perspective and from maybe UFC perspective, not the most entertaining fight in the world because there's no finishes and nobody got like knocked out flat cold.
That's why I like this fight.
But it's so technical.
Yeah,
yeah. Like
that's why.
Here, I'm literally chest wrapping him and falling towards his head and kicking him over to stop him from getting the double leg. And here I went for it again. It didn't work.
Yeah.
But I like going for that versus him picking me up and putting me down.
Because go ahead.
That gives him the control. Like if I allow him to pick me up, he can then put me down and pass my legs. Versus like if I fall back, even if I don't kick him over, my back's against the cage. Now I can use the cage to stand up. So it's a win-win for me, even if I don't get the initial technique that I want.
No, this is why I like this fight a lot because everything was technical from the first round to the fifth round.
Yeah. I
know everybody wants a submission. Everybody wants a knockout. Everybody wants this. But it's one of those, when I see that, I'm like, okay, it was cool, but it left me with a taste in my mouth. I'm like, where's the rest of it?
Yeah.
That's the reason why I like this fight so much.
Yeah. Well, and a good thing about this fight and these 5-round fights is I'm getting a lot of cage time. Like I'm very comfortable in the cage.
Especially for 5 minutes.
5 minutes of 5 rounds. Yeah. And I've had 2 of those fights where they've gone the whole 5 rounds. So I've gotten a lot of championship experience, more than most guys on the regional scene. And that's just a big, feather in my cap that I'm going to be able to use later in my career.
What is that called right there?
So he shot the double. I just chest wrapped him and fell down.
Chest wrapped.
Yeah.
And that way he can't pick you up.
Exactly. And then here, I'm okay giving my back as long as I have hand control and I turn into him. Like there's always a chance that I could get hit.
He's breathing hard.
Yeah, as I'm turning in, but I know these things, That's the one thing. Like, and I know he's behind me. I'm trying to fight the hands. There, I'm able to unclasp and turn. And he lands a good elbow out of that break. But that was the biggest thing in this fight. I was like, I'm gonna make this guy just work really hard and try to keep a constant pace. Ooh. And a lot of the time, you'll see in these exchanges, like as I come forward, I really jam up my punches. We end up headbutting a good bit. There was a good clash of heads in a lot of these exchanges, and that's just because of me being orthodox stance most of the time and him being southpaw.
And you guys were close the whole time.
Yeah, but man, just a grueling kind of fight where conditioning is really important in this kind of fight.
No,
it's everything, and I train really hard with that. I've got a strength conditioning coach.
Got it.
That I work with 2 or 3 times a week, and I'm always sparring. I'm always in the gym. I'm never really out of shape, and that's why I've been able to like take fights on short notice and capitalize on these opportunities.
Is that one of the reasons why a lot of people pass fights because they're already out of shape? They're like, give me 3 weeks, give me a month. They're
not doing what they're supposed to do.
Really,
they're not doing what they're supposed to do, and really all it says volumes about their confidence. It says volumes about their confidence as far as how they live their lifestyle.
Got it.
It really is a lifestyle thing. Like, if you're gonna do this for a living, you got to be able to capitalize on opportunities. Again, with the face push, and now I'm starting to use elbows to open them up with that face push, and you don't see that a lot. You know, so these are all techniques that are like, you don't see too much, but they are really effective. And again, like he was looking for the inside kick a lot of the time, and I was able to start checking those kicks later in the fight. Good body kick, high kick. That was another thing that another thing that shocked me.
Shit.
Another thing that shocked me in this fight was, again,
what are you doing there? You're just
slapping this crap out of him.
Oh.
Just because, like, there's no...
you heard the 10-second already.
Yeah, I already heard the 10-second. I'm, like, slapping him in the face.
Got it.
And, like, the last 10-second clacker goes off. I'm trying to look for a big move to, like, make sure I solidify.
Is that what it's called, the clacker?
Yeah, the clacker. Yeah, and so usually when I hear the 10-second clacker, I'm either finishing with a big, combination or flurry.
Is that a clacker right there?
That's not a clacker. I don't know what that is. I was so perplexed by the ring girls. I was like, I don't even know what this is right now. But, in this on the stool, this is one of those things that I was kind of on autopilot this fight. Sometimes we're not able to like calm down in the corner and taking advice from the coaches.
I was about to say that.
Yeah, and so in this fight, I felt like I could.
You're just zoned in.
So zoned in, and I wish. And this is one of those things. This was the first time of my coach Vince being back in my corner since working with him a long time ago. So that we had kind of growing pains is like what I like to call it. I was just never able to get calm in between rounds.
Yes.
To be able to take in anything he had to say. So I was kind of on autopilot from rounds 2 to 5.
Got it.
So I don't remember him saying anything. I just remember fighting.
That's one of the questions I always ask. When you're in the corner or when you're in the cage, can you hear your coach in the background?
Sometimes I can.
Sometimes you can.
Sometimes
when you want to.
Yeah. Sometimes I can. And, my old coach, Joe Stevenson, man, you could point...
Cobra Kai. Really?
Well, yeah, he was coaching at Dan's for a while. Yeah, and that was my head coach.
Yeah, because I know Sarah was talking about...
Yeah.
Cool.
And Joe's great. But, like, Joe, you can point his voice out of a room of 1 million people, and he's very loud.
That's something.
But it had been a while since me and my coach Vince had worked together.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't hearing that voice, I wasn't hearing it.
Yeah.
And so, that just comes with, more experience having him in my corner. I'll be able to pick up on his voice.
Well, you could also train your ear just to hear him too, but like you said, since it's been a while.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing we've kind of made a change in is now our hard sparring days are on Saturdays.
Okay.
Usually.
Okay.
Today I didn't go in, but because they were at Cage Warriors last night. But
okay.
Usually I go in on Saturdays and he's able to like focus on my rounds and then tell me what to do. And so I'm getting used to hearing him.
Do you have code words?
No.
No.
I don't really care for the code words.
Yeah.
I think code words kind of shows that you're not as confident. You're worried about them figuring out.
That's me, bro.
Yeah.
That's me. We have code words, so I'm like, it just automatically clicks.
Yeah.
You say a word, okay, I know what to do.
Yeah.
Eventually, you'll start weaning yourself off those code words because you already trained so many times.
Exactly, yeah. And I think it's one of those things that, you're not going to, unless you really learn the code words while you're sparring, it's tough to like hear them in a fight.
I still need them, but I'm not at your level.
Yeah. But that's one of those things I just think, and the one thing that was really challenging in this fight, now that I just saw it, was he drops to like both knees for the double, like very hard.
I saw that.
Yeah, and that was like I didn't quite expect that. I've never really had anybody do that. Like
I thought he was done.
Yeah, he dropped so low on the double leg.
Yep.
Against the cage.
I think it's coming up.
Yeah, he just did it once, and then he'll definitely do it again.
Yeah.
But in this round, in round 3, I start to kind of just pull away and find my timing. I think he won. I think he won the first 2 rounds technically on the scorecards, but I just was finding my timing those 2 rounds. I was taking in data and like starting to find my holes.
All right, so it looks like this is. Oh, well, we still have 4.
Yeah, we're in round 3 at 227 right now.
227.
Yeah, and right now he's like looking for the high cross right there, and I'm able to sprawl and like shove the head and get my leg away. I could tell he was really tired after going for that takedown. And I just knew, like, my constant pressure was starting to wear on him. And
how you feeling right now? You still good?
I'm still good. Yeah. My conditioning is like very, very good.
If you were an iPhone, you'd be at what, 95% right now? Or?
I'd probably be at like a good 80.
80%. Okay.
Yeah, 70, 80%. Maybe that's being a little confident, but like I just know I can go into the reserve gas tank if I have to.
Okay.
And so like right now I was just like, okay, just constant pressure, stay on them. Going back to one of my past comments that I was making was that front kick. I was worried that front kick was going to get, or it kept getting caught. And so I was like, well, if he's catching my front kick, then the round kick to the body, he's definitely going to catch.
He's going to see it.
He doesn't catch it. You'll see in the next, definitely the 4th round and 5th round, it was one of those kicks that I was landing hard to the body.
So his peripheral wasn't there. It was just looking straight at you. So
yeah, the linear kick wasn't working. And so I was like, that's not usually how it works, but like that's fighting.
All that shit's going through your head.
Yeah, like because I've been training it and I'm like, okay, that linear kick's going to work, and then it doesn't. Well, I think that's what opened him up, honestly. Because some of those elbows didn't land, but then a bunch of them did. And so
that's his knee there.
The good thing is once I get that low, I get that low with the frames on the face.
The mic too, yeah.
Frames on the face, I can feel when he's gonna drop. And so like right there, I felt him drop super, super hard, and I was like, okay, I dropped my levels too.
You did open them.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah. That's when I knew. I was like, okay, I'm starting to get to him. I'm finding my timing. He's also like getting a little bit tired. Mm-hmm. And
there you go. There it is.
The frame on the face.
Yep.
And I'm looking to elbow here and just cause damage, you know?
And that's the first time I ever saw that. So that's why I was like, is that illegal? But obviously it's not. They didn't stop you.
No, absolutely. In pro fights, you can elbow the crap out of guys. Oh, and that was actually the best because he threw a spinning elbow earlier. That one actually was pretty good. Like I walked him down after, but it definitely landed. I was like, all right, that was good, right on the side of the temple. But again, that that technique landed, and that gave me confidence. I was like, oh, I can walk him down, and I can take that shot. So
all right, and done.
Yeah, it should be boom. Yeah. So I think that round it was close, but I definitely edged it out as far as like I'm starting to find my timing. And my coach Vince, this is the thing, I don't remember what he was saying.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what I was saying.
Yeah.
But I was saying stuff, but I just wasn't there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like one of those things that we kind of agreed on is to take 2 deep breaths in between rounds. Like he's gonna tell me, hey, 2 deep breaths. Okay, one more.
Is that for your heart rate or?
Yeah, to start bringing everything down, bring the adrenaline down if anything's kicking, and then like, hey, look at me. Can you hear me? And I'll be like, yes. Okay, now he's got my attention. Now I can give him instruction.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
And I don't even know what my brother's saying there. I have no idea. I'm just like, dude, I'm so zoned in. But again, going into these championship rounds, this is where I get better. And I think this is why I'm kind of in a league of my own, is that I've been in 2 championship fights, and I'm only getting better through the championship rounds.
Got it.
So, like, I look back at him, and even Vince and my brother were like, hey, he's hurt.
Yeah.
Like, and I didn't really know it.
Look at you staring at him.
Yeah, I was just like wide-eyed as can be.
Yep.
But this is where the only thing I did here was like, hey, you actually did hurt him at the end of that round. Like, jump on him. And then
is that Jack Sparrow?
I don't know who the hell that is, but I have no idea. But my brother Jack, he's been in my corner a couple times. Sometimes I just get up, with like 30 seconds left in between the rounds. Yeah. And he's like, "You gonna get up?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna get up." And that's when you see here, like, he's like, "Hey, you gonna get up?" Yeah, and I'm just like, "I'm getting up."
Do you why? Because you're scared of stiffening up, or
no? It's psychological.
Oh,
I see him broken. He's already halfway out the door, and look at me. My hands are.
You're in the middle of the fucking ring,
dude,
bro.
And that's where and I do this in a lot of my fights. If you actually watch my fights, in between rounds, like 30 seconds left in the rest, I'm like, come on,
let's go,
dude. And so I think it's just psychological warfare, And I knew he was hurt. I'm like, dude, I'm coming to kill.
Yeah.
And that's why I texted you, I should have got the finish in the 5th round.
Yeah.
Because really, I start putting some good punches together, like good jab.
He's tired.
Yeah, I knew. I was like, oh, yeah.
Now he's tired and hurt.
Yeah, there's a good teep to the body. Like, I'm like, all right, now I'm starting to put punches on him.
Now they're starting to work.
Yeah. And then right here, I'm telling him, shoot. Go ahead, shoot. Because I knew he was going to shoot. I'm like, he's going to just try to wrestle.
Are you talking to him?
There for a second when I was showing uppercut, I was telling him, I was like, go ahead and shoot. And so, like, I was I was just in I was just in the midst of the fight. Like, go ahead. I know you're gonna do it,
bro.
You know. So yeah. So like, I know he was gonna try to wrestle yet again, and again I'm just shoving the face. He did get to my back here. See, that's the only danger about that technique. He can shuck you by and get to your back if you're not careful. Mm-hmm. And that was kind of like his last real last way to get me down. Yeah, and from here I'm just like, all right, I got he's on the run. He's got blood in his eye.
Yeah, he's wiping it off.
He's wiping it off. Yep. He's starting to weather. And I'm tired. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Like, as much as I'm like, oh, my conditioning's amazing. It is. But these 5th rounds are tiring.
Well, you don't show it.
I don't show it.
He does.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that's one thing. Like, even guys in the training room, like, you see some guys, they show that they're withered. Yeah. And I tell people, I'm like, dude, you guys got to have a good poker face. Like, it's really important in fighting. Like, you might be hurt, you might be tired, you might not want to be there in that instant moment, but you can't show that.
You know what's funny is when I'm in training, I always stand back and pretend I'm doing something. I'm like, I'm just coming back. And that's me trying to get my breath and coming back. Right. But yeah, I get winded pretty fast.
But you can do a good job of hiding that.
That's what I try to do.
Yeah, the more experience you get. Yep. And that's just being in the game for a while.
I'll walk around him real quick and just pretend I'm looking at him, but I'm just catching my breath.
Yeah, versus like beginners who are aggressive, you'll see they'll punch and do things out of fear. Yeah, and they get really tired and they show they're really tired.
Well, they also want to do like a knockout. They want to get that viral moment.
They want it. Well, yeah.
You don't know, bro.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I thought it was over.
No.
Oh, we still got 2.5 minutes.
Oh yeah. He just broke us apart because he was just clinching the entire time.
Got it.
Yeah. And again, like here, I wish I would have done some more fighting on the outside, like on the outside of the cage, because I think I would have been able to move backwards. And I know I can fight going backwards. It's not that I'm one of these guys that can just fight going forward. I love fighting going forward. Yeah. And putting pressure and just like you breaking guys with my cardio, but I could step back and land good shots.
Was that a good referee?
Yeah, he was pretty good throughout.
Okay.
Yeah, he was doing a good job of like letting us fight. Mm-hmm. Good referees, good round kick to the body, good jab. Yeah, now he's reaching. Like, he's just he's desperate now. This is kind of like the desperate stage. I can kind of see in his body language. Now. Yeah. Yep. And man,
is that when you get your second win and like,
yeah. And that's the thing. When I see these guys start to wilt a little bit, I'm like right here. He shoots. I push him away. See my hands. I'm like, come on, bro. Yeah, like I know what you're gonna do. And so I'm just good at capitalizing on those things. Good. And I think where I think I got that from is running long distance. I've been thinking, yeah, man. You know what? I ran the 1,600 meter in middle school and in middle school. Okay. And my dad was a runner. We all ran long distance. And so I was running at a young age, and I did a lot of soccer. But in track and field, I would sit in the middle of the pack and be able to hear the guys breathe and then decide when I want to go. And that's how I was successful doing that. And I never was like a state champion or anything. Yeah. But it was just one of those things I was thinking about. How am I'm able to do that so well in fighting. And I think that goes to like me running track and field.
Oh yeah.
So here we're good. Yeah. He shoots in. And again, like this is the same. I knew this was coming. Like these are all of his fights and he's able to get me down, but it's one of those things. It's a little far too late now.
What could you have done here in the last minute to just finish him?
Break away and look for some more strikes.
Okay.
Again, I think a lot of the time when I step in and punch, I'm stepping in so hard and committing that I crash with him. Versus like if I would just like not even step, if I would just punch from where my feet are planted, I'd probably land at the end of my punches and put him out. I think the longer punches, like long jab, long hook, and straight right. Again, he tries to spin, kind of out of desperation. And he's able to get me down, but it's one of those things like he never could establish any sort of control. Like even here, he gets me up in the air. I'm like, all right, cool. I just go back to the cage. Like it's one of those things. He was never able to like get his game going, and he just kind of had to play mine the entire time.
Do you use the cage as leverage?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Okay. Especially when you're the defensive grappler, you got to use that cage. If he takes me down out in the center, now it's a completely different game.
Got it.
I use that cage to stand up
And that's one of the reasons why you want to test the cage before. You want to see how much spring it is, if it's tight, loose.
Oh, I'll do some technical stand-ups against the cage and just like, okay, you see, and these are all little things, guys. Yeah. And the game, we're playing a game of inches here, especially the higher level you go. So, and you know what? Here, man, I was a lot was going through my head.
Mm-hmm. Did you know you won?
You know, in my head, I was like, because this is his home state.
Okay.
He's from Austin.
Okay.
And so for a minute, I was kind of like, dude, maybe I didn't do enough. And it's tough to go that way.
Yeah.
But when you're in enemy territory, you don't know, man. Yeah. Fighting this has happened a million times where a guy has, won the fight on the cards.
Yeah.
From the fan perspective.
Yeah.
But then the judges get involved and you're like, holy crap, I lost a split decision or something like that.
Yeah.
And so my brother was really good about like, hey, he's like, I think you won that fight. There's no way. He couldn't get started. And then hearing the scorecards, like I think it was 48, 49, 46, 48, 47. I was like, okay, I think I definitely won.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely right now, just looking at my body language, like I'm tired, but I'm not. If I needed to go some more rounds, if we had to do a sudden death round right there, we'd do the damn thing right there. I don't think he could say the same though. He's a little bit withered. But you know what? It was it's one of those fights that needed to happen. I grew so much from the experience. And my journey is not like a lot of these pro fighters. Yeah. And I think that's what makes me different. What makes me different is I didn't have a manager and a promotion behind me.
Yeah.
And I wasn't given fights where I was the A side.
Yeah.
I've kind of had to go in the guys' backyard and beat them in their hometown.
Yeah.
And make a career doing it.
Yeah.
And I've kind of done that.
Now, go ahead. The A side, a lot of times, and then just if you don't want to say it, that's fine.
No, that's cool.
Do you think sometimes they set up a fighter just with some cheap ass fights just so he can get his numbers up?
100%.
Are you fucking serious?
100%.
I know in boxing.
Oh, and MMA too.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. And guys, it's a business.
Yeah.
And you got to look at it like this. There are these local promoters. They got to sell tickets.
Yeah.
So the guys who sell a lot of tickets.
Yeah,
they're their guy.
Really,
and then you get the manager game, which
Yeah.
is very interesting nowadays. Very saturated. These managers, these big time firms, they have these relationships with these promoters.
Yeah,
where they have guys signed and they're like, hey, we want these kind of matchups to get our guy going to the top. So if you go look at other guys as Tapologies that are pro, that are successful, you'll see they're signed with a big firm.
Yep, that's it.
And they fight under one promotion banner.
So it's basically having a bunch of investors because just say, hey, I got this guy, Jeff. Do you want to invest in him? He's going to be fighting this, and his next 5 fights are guaranteed. Yeah. I don't know if that happens behind the scene, but
it's a business, and so that happens a ton. And you'll see a lot of these guys that get to the UFC.
Yeah,
go combine the records of the guys they fought. They're losing records.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And so. That's where, they're getting the finishes. The UFC loves them. Yeah. But they're fighting tomato cans. And then when they get in there with
tomato cans.
Sorry, no disrespect for anybody who gets in there. But
I've never heard that saying.
But seriously, like, everybody wants to be in the UFC. Yeah. I think once you decide to go pro.
Yeah.
And, a lot of these guys are kind of getting the easy road there. Yeah. But the consequence to that is that when they get there and they haven't fought any tough fights and they go 0-2, you never see them again. Yeah. And that's where I'm kind of like, hey, like, I've taken the long approach where I necessarily didn't have a manager.
You did it organically.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't have a manager really behind me or a promotion behind me. Yeah. I had to go travel and fight these guys in their hometowns. Mm-hmm. And I'm 11-2-1 and one of the best guys in the country at welterweight.
And nobody wants to fight you in California.
And I think that just says I think that says a lot.
Yeah,
I really do. I think it says like, okay, this kid, he's tough. He'll fight anybody. Yeah. And he's done it the hard way.
Well, same thing. Like, and it reminds me of what you're saying. Like Omar, there's a couple times where they canceled fights because, like, hey, we got Omar the line. Yeah, we're good. I don't want to fight.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That happens. That happens in the amateurs and the pros. Yeah.
Damn it.
But the pros, it's a legitimate business. Yeah. Even the Cage Warriors event last night, like they do the same thing. Everybody does it.
Wow.
So it's who you know. Yeah. It really is. It's who you know in the industry, just like any other industry.
It's a business, like you said.
Yes.
It's a business. Of course. Not what you know, it's who you know.
Who you know. Absolutely.
Hell yeah. So, well, thank you so much for narrating. Now I have a I could always watch this back. So usually when I see fights, I see people fighting.
Yeah.
I don't know the technical terms. I don't know this and that. But now that I have you right there, it's like, okay, I can watch this again and be like, I know exactly what happened because you were right here telling me.
Hopefully I gave you a good breakdown, too, of what happened. Like, me, I probably wouldn't be the best commentator, but because I'd be so hypercritical on things, especially when I'm watching myself. But, you know.
Damn.
Yeah.
Now, really quick, let's switch, man. Let's stop talking about violence real quick.
Yeah.
You're on a podcast too.
Yes. I run, me and my buddy Brandon Solis. We run shout outs to Brandon. Brandon is the guy.
And what is the name of your podcast?
It's Fighter One Podcast. You can check us out on YouTube. You know, that's
a sick ass name, Fighter One.
Yeah, and so
it reminds me of a jet.
Yes, exactly.
Like a fighter jet.
And he came up with the name, and I gotta say, Brandon's he's the meat and potatoes behind this podcast.
Okay,
I think the podcast for me, and he kind of asked me, "Hey, do you want to do a podcast with me?" I was training at Dan's. I was doing really successful, and he's done a really good job of helping me build my brand. Yeah. And it really, the podcast is his baby.
Yeah.
And he really treats it, very professionally. And I'm just so blessed to have a good host like that.
I love the production value. I saw a couple episodes and, now there's two setups. There's one, I think at the gym at the loft. And there's another one where they're on a couch.
So we've had a couple episodes. So we used to do them at Dan's when we were there, and we do them up at the loft, which is if you go to the Hendo's Fight Nights, it's up in the VIP section.
Yeah, that's where I was.
Yeah. So that's where we were doing them, and then when he starts coming like once a week on Thursdays to the arena. We do it in the cage at the arena.
Oh,
the
that
training
is
room.
Fucking sick.
And we sit on like the grappling dummies and just do them, and we have a dummy in between us, like
that's
a table.
Raw, bro.
And so you get that like cage feeling.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying to set my studio up like Joe Rogan.
No, they're
in
sick.
the actual cage.
This is a sick
where there's
studio.
blood all over the freaking ground from people fighting.
The one that you saw on a couch was he came out to Texas to film everything.
Really?
Film the
brought all the equipment and everything.
Brought all the equipment, did everything. Filmed everything.
Great production value, by the way.
Yeah.
Brother.
And so he was like, dude, you know what we should do? We should shoot a podcast after your fight.
Yeah.
And so we rented out a studio and we did a podcast in Austin right after the fight. It was like 11 o'clock, but we made it, we all as a team kind of like rallied and made it there and shot a great podcast.
And that was after the melee fight.
That was after the melee fight.
Really?
And
I saw the belt on the table.
Yes. And so that podcast did actually pretty well for us as far as numbers just because of Melee. So Melee streamed the fight on Twitch, which no other fight promotion has used Twitch as a streaming platform.
Yeah.
So they're kind of ahead of the game. And from that, we got so much traction from that podcast.
Yeah.
And then my following as well went up. So it was just a win-win overall.
Good.
Yeah.
Wow.
So we love doing it,
What other guests have you had on there? Are you you're a co-host?
I'm a co-host.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, I'm a co-host, and sometimes we have episodes with, it's just me and him, and we're talking about just fighting.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about historical matchups throughout MMA.
Got it.
MMA history, and then we'll have guests on. We've had Joe Stevenson. We've had Omar on.
Yeah.
And there's a list of guys we want to do.
What direction do you want to go with that podcast? And I say that because I'm using this platform, MouthGuard Out Podcast, to promote, expose, show people out there, promoters or even fans, a different side of you. You see what I'm saying? Because when they see you fighting in the cage, blah, blah, blah. That's all they know you. But, I want them to see not the softer side, but the human side of the fighters. And that's the reason why I'm doing this podcast, because I want to learn from you, but I want, hopefully this not promotion, I'm thinking fighting, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully this podcast will excel or help, someone else find you guys.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. I think, the podcast has done, our big thing is to, it's a podcast about difficult endeavors. You know what I mean? So kind of like we want to open it up more than fighting. You know, there's a lot of it's a podcast of difficult endeavors.
Yes.
So we want to interview guys from all sorts of things. But this podcast has done a really good job of kind of like just setting my brand.
That's
like
cool.
the start of the brand.
Yeah.
And we want to do a documentary as kind of like things go on and me getting into the UFC. And going that. So that's kind of like our project that we're kind of working behind the scenes.
Dude.
And right now we're working. So my buddy Brandon, he just moved into a new apartment.
Okay.
And so now we're creating a studio there.
Good.
Versus doing it in a gym or in a loft. Like, you want to do a little bit more professional, kind of like this.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the next step. And then, hopefully I get some fight news soon.
Yeah.
Or we can really start going to work.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So your biggest thing now, and thank you for bringing it out. So guys, Fight One Podcast on YouTube.
Yeah, Fighter1 Podcast.
Fighter1, I'm sorry.
No, all good.
Is there any other platforms, social media?
Yeah, we're on Instagram. Fighter1 Podcast, Instagram, and YouTube at the moment.
Got you, yeah. So follow them, guys, and I'll tag you and all that good stuff. Please. Now, let's, once again, I'm hopeful for every fighter here, but your goal is to go on to UFC.
Yeah.
But your goal is to go on a show.
Yeah.
Which show is that?
So, The Ultimate Fighter, season 32.
32.
Season 32 is coming up.
Shit, it's been that long.
It's been that long.
The last time I saw that back, it was when Chris Lieben was on there.
Yeah, that's like season 2. I think it's season 1 or 2.
Yeah. I think it was 2.
I think it's 2, yeah.
Damn.
So, and I've been watching the show ever since it was Rampage and Rashad. Kimbo Slice, the Kimbo Slice season.
Kimbo Slice, rest in
love
peace.
Kimbo Slice, man.
Yeah.
As a kid growing up, I thought Kimbo Slice.
The backyard fights, bro.
Dude, he was the best,
Yeah.
And I drew a lot of motivation from him.
Good.
It was just like such a good story.
Yeah.
And a good season
of
the show. But so they're doing the casting right now to see who's going to be on the show. And the weight classes are 170 and 125.
That's
and
where
so
you're at.
I'm 170. And man, I think it's a hard argument to say why I shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm ranked number 1 in California. I've beaten some of the toughest guys. And now I think I'm ranked number 10 in the country.
Cool.
As far as all welterweights. So I just have I have a deep record. I think it's hard to say that I shouldn't be there.
Did you do a casting call already?
Yeah, so I did do an interview.
Oh,
I will say that.
Hell yeah.
And I thought I did a really good job.
Good.
They said they liked me.
Good.
My buddy, my former coach, Joe Stevenson, he'd really put a word in and really helped out because he's been on the show. He knows the producers.
Yes.
And they said, "Hey, we really like the kid."
Good.
I don't know. We're supposed to hear back soon about a final interview.
Soon, like in 2025,
no,
or like in a week?
Yeah, so like in a week or so.
Oh,
so yeah, it should
good luck,
be soon.
brother.
And then the show will actually start. I believe I will leave if I get on first week in February.
Really?
Yeah, if I get on.
Yeah.
So.
I used to watch because I was always into boxing. Is the show Contender?
Oh, okay.
Remember that one?
I watched Contender. Yeah.
So it's the same concept, right?
Same concept.
But it's more reality show based.
Yes. Yeah, there's more drama and actually reality TV show based than Contender.
Not to sound ignorant, but which is the one with Conor McGregor? He had a show. Was that the same one?
Conor McGregor. Oh, he was one of the coaches on The Ultimate Fighter.
Got
yes.
it. The Ultimate Fighter.
Yeah.
Well, good luck with that, brother.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man. I'm really hoping for it.
Dude, hell yeah. That's exciting news, man.
Yeah.
Especially now that you did the casting call and you have, like I said, Joe Stevenson as a support.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's just you get the call and next we're watching you on season 32 or
32.
32. It's like I had
yes, sir. Yeah.
And hell yeah.
And I gotta give thanks to so many people.
Yeah.
Man, I could go on forever, but I'll start with first my team,
the
Backroom Boys over at the arena. You actually watched one of them win last night, Bobby Winters.
Bobby Winters.
Yep, he choked out
Beard.
He's got a little bit of facial hair here. Yeah, he did an arm triangle first round.
Yeah,
at 170. Yeah, really good. One of my really good training partners.
He tall that tall ass guy.
Yes,
I saw that.
Yeah,
and you know what's funny
great
is
fight.
I saw his opponent on the way out of the casino. He was on his phone. I shook his hand. I said, "Bro, great fight, man."
Yeah.
No disrespect to you guys, but it's entertainment for us.
Oh, for
I know
sure.
you guys are putting your bodies, your everything on the line because you're trying to get to that next level. But I always give respect, no matter if they won or lost. But I know exactly what you're talking about. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So he had a great win last night.
Yeah.
And just want to give a shout out to him and then all the other teammates I have over at the arena.
They're right there,
boys.
bro.
Thank you guys. Whatever is next. I don't know if the Ultimate Fighter will happen, but if it does, great. If not, there's a lot of other things in the talks, and whatever comes next, I just want to give thanks to them.
Yeah.
And then my coach Vince Salvador. Without them, none of this is possible.
If you get on the show, is that a better shoe-in to the UFC?
I think it's a tougher road.
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, because think about it like this. So,
what?
Yeah, because Contender Series, you fight one time in front of Dana. You finish and look great, you get a contract. The other option is short notice fights, which happen once in a while.
Okay.
Where, hey, we need a guy in a week's notice. We need to go get somebody.
And you're willing to do that?
I'm willing to do that. It just hasn't happened yet.
Okay.
I think the Ultimate Fighter is the toughest avenue just because you have 8 guys at that weight class. You're not guaranteed anything other than one fight.
Freaking losing breath.
So but like you're fighting you're in the quarters automatically.
Yeah.
So I got to win 2 fights in the finale.
Okay.
So I just think it's a tougher road, but I think it's the only road that I like.
Yeah.
That it makes sense for me. I've already had the tough road.
That's true.
So when I've been thinking about, maybe it'll be short notice, maybe it'll be contenders, and I keep getting passed up on the contenders. Yeah. I think then this opportunity kind of like pops up on the radar. I'm like, dude, this is how I get on. Like it's my show to win. You know what I mean? And like it would just be, it just says my story.
No,
you know,
absolutely.
It keeps the same frequency as the rest of my story. You know, like I've taken the tough path and I've made it the tough way.
Well, good luck, brother. But good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah. I don't know what I can do. All I can do is support you, pray for you, and wish you good luck,
this
bro.
platform for
Let's
sure.
do it,
you know,
man.
and for fighters, not just me. Like,
Yeah.
There's a lot of guys who are like me who need a platform like this.
You know what's funny is we were posting pictures on social media on Instagram, and somebody reached out to us, and they basically thanked us. They said, "Hey, thank you for putting fighters out there. You know, the show is great." I'm like, "Wow, it's like a first real fan that's actually reached out."
Yeah.
So it is working. You know.
Yeah.
I was talking to you earlier. I'm not doing this for the money. I'm not getting paid, and I wish I can pay you guys. But it's for the love of the way you fight.
Yeah.
The way I love talking to fighters and using my talents to do this show. So,
for sure.
Well, thank you, man. Thank you for you. Thank you for all the fighters and everything. But, man, I'm excited for you, brother.
Thank you.
What am I trying to say? I don't want to be bugging you and texting you every night and be like, "Hey, bro, did it happen? Did it happen?" Is this something that you're going to be posting and announcing?
Yeah, I think definitely posting and announcing when I get something next. I also think if it's that magnitude, we might do a live podcast, our first live podcast, announcing whatever's next.
What?
So I kind of like that idea.
Yeah.
I brought it up to Brandon.
Yeah.
And so we're just kind of playing with the idea and seeing what it would take to do that.
How often do you post on the fighter one?
Usually, so right now we've kind of been cold as of late. Just kind of life hits you. Yeah, things happen.
Holidays are coming up.
Yeah, holidays are coming up. Yeah. And so usually though, it's like every Thursday. Usually when
consistent.
When we are consistent, it's every Thursday.
Got it.
So right now it's been kind of a little bit of a cold streak, but we're planning on like really getting things started once I kind of figure out what's next.
I try to post once a month.
Yeah.
You know, because I get the fighter in here and then I have to do the editing, and that usually takes me about a week and a half.
That takes a lot of time.
I love it. I love it because it's something that I do, not for a living, but I love doing.
Yeah.
So eventually, and I think we were talking about this earlier, is once this starts to blow up, I'll start getting staff and then let them do the shooting, the editing, and then I'll just show up like Dana White.
Dude, Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan. Show up and leave. It's all right, guys, I'm out of here.
Heck yeah.
You see what I'm saying? But like, we always got to start somewhere.
Absolutely.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Now, once again, good luck on that.
Yes.
If you don't mind, brother, can we talk about your wife?
Yeah.
Because there's something she said on your podcast that even my wife was like, "Oh, damn." She said her hands go numb when you fight.
Yeah.
And you know what I was thinking? I'm automatic when she said that. I'm thinking she's fisting up, like, "Come on, Jeff, doing this," and that's the reason. But I don't know why she gets numb. Is it from nervousness? I don't know. Help me out here.
Yeah. So
that's
I think
Haley, right?
Haley. Yeah. And I think that's a good line that she said in the podcast. But after that, she's like, "Yeah, but I'm so confident in him," and like that means the world to me. Like, she knows how much I sacrifice, and we sacrifice.
Yeah.
Because we sacrifice a lot of time with each other.
Yeah.
For me to kind of chase this thing.
Yeah.
That it really hasn't like paid any like major money yet. But it's like I'm so close, you know what I mean? So
that's good.
Yeah, we both have kept this dream alive. And without her, I would be nothing.
And she travels to your fights with her.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Most of the time, she's able to travel to my fights. Good. And her family's super supportive too. They all come out. Her my grandpa-in-law, and grandma-in-law.
Yeah.
And you know, like I said, it's a celebration, man.
Yeah.
It really takes a village to make this thing happen. You know, I'm glad I'm not one of these guys who like, you know, kind of travels just with their coach and one other guy and stays in a hotel. Like, my family, like, it's like a family reunion. It's a family every time I fight.
Well, you said when you went to Texas, you had like 20-some people.
I had like 25 people here.
Really?
Yeah. Shit. All from North Carolina, the Northeast, West Coast, like you name it.
And the great thing is you won.
And I keep the train going. Yeah.
Good, bro.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, you know what's funny is I usually go to the fights with my wife and I.
Yeah.
You know, it's just her and I. And every time, like, when I talk to my parents, what'd you guys do this weekend? Oh, we went to a fight. And they're like, I want to go to a fight.
Yeah.
Because she sees the excitement that we tell the stories.
Yeah.
So yesterday for Cage Warriors, I actually had my parents there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah. And then she doesn't know Momo, but she knows enough because I talk about Momo. She goes, I want to go see Momo. So Momo, my mom went just so she
Momo
could
got a
see
fan.
you.
Yeah,
she has a fan, man.
Nice.
She has a 69-year-old fan. Right, that's how old my mom is. Not so sorry, Mom, for giving your age out there, but yeah, cool, man.
That's
so
awesome.
I'm glad that your wife supports you.
Yeah.
You know, in anything, you know, there's time away. I'm pretty sure you're more married to your training than you are your wife, with all due respect to you. You know, because of the fact that, babe, I'll be back. You go to work, you come back. Babe, I need 2 hours. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
So that takes a toll on her too. But
For
at the end of the day, the great thing about it is she gets to travel with you, so she can see all that hard work that you missed there. So basically, that's your time. I don't want to say vacation, but that's your time together to celebrate.
And it's so nice.
Yeah.
Once it is over, and like she's the first person I asked for. Like when I'm in the back, like after this, especially after this fight, I was like, bring my wife.
Adrian,
I just want my wife. You know.
Hell yeah.
And you know, she's so supportive,
Good.
and she sees. It would be one thing if I wasn't good. You know what I mean? Like, but she's like, you're good at this. Like this is something that you could be great at.
When did she realize? Because obviously you've been married 2 years, right?
Yeah, we've been married 2 years.
So you were fighting before you guys met, because obviously you said COVID. Mm-hmm. But when you first met her, was like, oh yeah, I'm a fighter. Was she one of those like, yeah, sure you are? But
she knew I was doing it, but I don't think she knew to the degree that I could take it.
Yeah.
I think she was just like, oh, this is a phase he's going through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, we'll see. And I was an amateur at the time.
Yeah.
So she was there for my last amateur fight.
Okay.
My last amateur fight. And so I think she was like, oh, we'll see if he goes pro, whatever. I was good back then. But then like, you know, I've kind of just hit a new stride.
Yeah.
This is kind of, I guess, before COVID. I had lost, actually I had lost my last fight. I lost to Cage Warriors.
Yeah.
Against Max Roshkoff.
Okay.
And I thought I was done. Like I actually was like, yo.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was so upset about that fight. I lost in the first round. I got TKO'd.
Okay.
And I don't know if you know anything about Max Roshkoff, but he's known as that guy who he fought in the UFC and he quit on the stool. He literally quit on the stool in between rounds two and three.
Oh, I gotta look up that
against
fight.
Austin Hubbard.
And you fought that guy.
Yeah. And right after that was his next fight after that. So I was like, dude, I'm gonna break this guy.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna make my name off of him.
Yeah.
Didn't work out.
Wow. And
so I was so distraught because I put so much in that camp. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I was like, yeah, I think I'm done. I really did. I'm telling you, like, I was like, yeah, I think I'm done.
It was a mental thing or a physical thing? Mental. Yep. You know what's funny is the mind is very powerful, bro.
So powerful. And I was like, yo, I'm done. And I was working for my grandpa-in-law at the time doing construction. And, you know, it was a great opportunity, but I wasn't happy. You know, and then like as time kind of went on, I didn't fight for an entire year while I was working this job. I wasn't really training. I was just kind of, you know, going through life, making good money. Yeah. And I was, but I wasn't like content. You know, I wasn't happy with where I was at. And she literally kept saying, you're not going to go out like that. I don't know.
So she was the voice that brought you back to reality.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. No. Yeah. And like, she was just like, you're not built like that.
Yeah.
Like she's like, you're not gonna go out like that.
Were
like
you
I
married?
No, I wasn't married to her yet. You're not even married to her yet.
I'm going out with a bitch.
But she was like, she's just like, you're not going out like that. Like I know you, and I know you're not gonna go out like that. And I always kind of was like, damn, like
those are some deep ass words.
Yeah,
simple but deep.
And so like that always kind of stuck with me. And then finally, I kind of like hit my day where I was like, screw it, dude. I'm getting back in this game.
Yeah.
And I kept talking to Joe, who was my coach at the time.
Yeah.
And
but this was already a year that you stopped.
I hadn't fought since a year.
Were you still training though?
Yeah, here and there, but not like I couldn't take any fight. You know, like I wasn't ready to prepare to. So I was like, Joe, I'm getting back in there. Like I'm not going out.
You
like
sure,
this.
bro? You sure? Right?
Oh, and he was like, I got you if you're gonna, but like you have to be all in.
You have to.
And from then on, I haven't lost. I haven't lost a fight. Really? And so I've kind of just. Whatever it is, I had to go through that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm happy. Some people told me before that fight, they told me, don't take this fight.
Yeah.
They're like, this isn't a good fight for you. You shouldn't take this fight. You know, you're getting set up for their guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, but I'm confident. I'm confident that I can beat him. And then when it didn't go my way and just how everything played out, like I needed that. And that kind of brung that fire out of me.
Wow.
And I haven't lost since. And I went up a weight class, which is, you know, whether it matters or not. But I was fighting at lightweight, which is 55.
155 and you're at 170.
And so I made the jump after that fight. That was the last time I fought at 155.
Is that your comfortable weight, 170, 175? You could stay there all day.
Well, I walk around. I mean, I walk around like a 190, 185, 190.
Really?
So to get that, and then to get down to 155, I have to have like a full camp.
Oh,
and so after that Rashkov fight, I was like, it sucked, and then I didn't even feel any bigger than the guy. I didn't feel like I had any advantage.
Wow.
So I was like, dude, I'm gonna go up. Like my comeback, I'm gonna go up in weight. And everybody's like, dude, you're gonna be the smaller guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't care.
So if you were just to have a weight, 170 is where you're gonna stay forever. If you could.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't mind going up or down.
Yeah, I mean, it matters what money talks. You know what I mean? Again, like, I love 170. I know they talking about 165.
Yeah.
165 would almost be even more perfect.
Yeah.
I think I'm kind of like a smaller welterweight. But I don't mind being.
How tall are you?
I'm 5'11",
5'11".
6 foot. Yeah.
Okay.
And like, there's some welterweights that are walking around 200 pounds.
Yeah.
You know, usually, and then are cutting all the way down. But like, I just think it's an optimal weight, and I perform way better there. So I'm gonna stay there.
Yeah. And back to Haley and you.
Yeah.
No children, right?
No children at the moment.
No children.
We're kind of waiting for some financial stability.
Yeah, I get it.
You know, and it's just one of those things. Right now we live in a trailer on her grandparents' property, and we like it, but it's like some place we wouldn't want to raise a kid in a trailer.
In Poway?
No, in Valley Center.
Valley Center.
Oh,
that's right.
Yeah.
You did say that.
Yeah.
You know what's funny is I lived in a trailer in Valley Center.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my god!
I was literally.
Where were you at? You know,
San Pasqual.
Oh, I went to Fire Academy at San
Did
Pasqual.
you?
Yeah.
Where the fires happened on that one road, I forgot what his road. I could, from where my trailer was, I can see the Valley View Casino.
Yeah. Okay. I know that area super well.
Yeah, I used to run that. I was still in the Marine Corps at that time. And the reason I was there because my son also lived in Valley Center.
Okay.
And then as he started getting older, teenager, then I moved to Escondido. So I was only 13 miles from him.
Yeah, it's not far.
So I love Valley Center.
Yeah. I went to, when I was like 20, 21.
Yeah.
My mom and dad were kind of like, hey, you need to do something other than this fight and stuff as a backup plan.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I'm going to go to the Fire Academy.
Yeah.
So I went to San Pasqual Fire Academy. I was Academy 34. And, it was great. I loved it.
Yeah.
And I was a reserve firefighter for a while for CAL FIRE. And then COVID happened.
Wow.
So that kind of got me out of it.
That threw everything off.
Yeah. COVID threw it. I was going to go to Thailand too. I was going to move to Thailand with Haley. And then COVID happened and screwed everything up.
Where were you going to go to town? The train or
train full time? Yeah, she was going to work at like a elephant tiger like zoo
because she's a vet tech.
Vet tech. So it was a perfect. We had the money saved. I was actually planning. I had a fight lined up.
Okay.
During that time, it was for King of the Cage. It was for their title for a pro. And so I was like, hey, I'm going to fight this fight.
Yeah.
And we already have the money saved up. Then we'll move to Thailand.
Yeah.
And we'll go to Tiger Muay Thai. And then COVID screwed all that up. But things happen for a reason. You know?
Yeah.
So.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's fun. Once again, it goes, there's another coincidence. You live in Valley Center. I lived in Valley Center.
Yeah.
You were born in North Carolina, or you lived in North Carolina. I was in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Wow, man.
That's crazy.
That's awesome, bro.
Yeah.
I think it's God, man.
Yeah, I do too.
It brings...
Big believer.
Yeah. It brings people together. That puts you in the right place at the right time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to watch another fight.
Okay. I'm down to do whatever. If you want to watch fights, I'm down for anything. Oh, this fight. Let's go.
You tell me,
dude. Look up Jazzy. Let's go to Epic. Let's go to my first Epic fight.
Okay.
Only because I haven't watched it in forever.
Okay. I chose the first one. You choose the second one. So I just put Jazzy Jeff.
Yeah, just put Jazzy Jeff Creighton, and it should pop up.
Creighton.
CREIGHTON. Let's see.
And then put Epic.
Just put MMA, and we'll see. It should pop up.
All right, let's check it out.
Yeah, because my debut should be on there. Keep going down. Let's see.
I'm going slow so we can load.
Yeah, you're good. Keep going. Man, I got a lot of fights.
Oh, you do? You're all over YouTube, bro.
Man, why? That's weird. Usually,
that's 10 years ago.
Yeah. Man, what would it have been called? No, that's not it.
Yeah.
Keep going.
I saw that fight.
Yeah, that's a good fight. Actually, yeah, that was a good fight. I lost that one. Keep going.
That's why I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, I don't know. That one right there. That's my first ever MMA fight right there.
All right.
My dad filmed this. Yeah, this is crazy. I was in high school.
Wow.
So, yeah, I was 18. There's my dad in the background.
And you were at Poway High?
I was at Poway High.
Really?
I just quit the wrestling team, and I just wanted to fight. And so I went to the arena. They're like, and the first day I went in there, dude, this is a crazy story. So I went in there, and a guy named Joe Duarte.
Okay.
He fought. He was in Bellator, pro fighter, a very high level, and he thought I was a guy that they had brought in to train and spar with him. So
you're just some high school kid.
Some high school kid. Bro, he knocked me out. He knocked me out, kicked me in the head. I slid down the wall. I didn't know what had happened.
Yeah.
And so we were talking afterwards, and he's like, "Oh yeah, how long have you been training?" I was like, "This is like my first day."
Oh.
And he's like, "What?" He's like, I thought Chuck and Vince brought you in from a different gym to spar. I was like, dude, I'm in high school, bro. He felt so bad.
Oh.
But they were like, is he gonna show up after that? And sure enough, I did. And then after that experience, I was hooked. Yeah.
Is this at the 4 points?
Yeah, this is at 4 Point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And that's your dad recording?
Yeah. And then I got all my coach, Charles Martinez at the time. He's over here. And then, I had all my like friends and family like right there.
So this was your debut?
This is my debut. First ever MMA fight.
Oh, crap, guys.
Yeah. So I had all my high school friends there. And like, I was just a kid, you know? I didn't know any.
So once again, guys, I'm going to be posting it right here so you guys can see it.
Yeah.
This is funny, man.
This is crazy. And like, you know, I was so scared because the guy was like, I think he was like 29.
Yeah.
And he had tattoos kind of like a biker did.
Yeah.
I was like scared. I was like, yo, I want to get this guy out of here. You know what I mean? Like but like my thought wasn't I'm scared I'm going to wilt and just kind of like, no, I was like, yo, I'm going to try to knock
You still had shin guards on.
Oh yeah. I was like, I'm going to try to knock this guy out.
Yeah.
And so, and that's kind of what happens. Like I took him down, mounted him. And then at one point, I just start teeing off on him. And finally, I hit him with one right hand. And I saw his eyes kind of go. And then the ref jumped in.
Did any of your high school friends go to the fight?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Did they?
Oh, yeah. I told him about it. I was like, dude. Oh, yeah.
What was the conversation that Monday in homeroom?
Dude, see what Jeff just did this weekend.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so here I'm teeing off on him. And he tries to, like, get up, right? He turns into me. Yeah, this is when... So I start hitting him, and then I flatten him back out. Yeah, there. Yeah, he's out. Yeah.
And done.
Yeah, and like, that's the moment I was hooked.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's it right there. Like, that is the moment.
I could just imagine the feeling, bro.
I'm just a young kid. And I've been in a bunch of fights. I had some fights before, like, outside the cage. But, like
street fights or
yeah.
just... Oh, wow.
Yeah, like, just fighting people just...
Got it.
Because we had disagreements or whatever. And, like... Not that I had a ton of those, but I was like, I can definitely handle my own. Like, I was pretty confident. And then I had wrestled for a while, so I was like, dude, I want to do this.
Wow.
And that's the moment right there, like, that I was hooked.
Fucking
like,
on cloud nine.
Yeah, bro. I was like, dude, I'm doing this.
What was your dad saying? I heard him screaming. But
he's like, he loved it. And there's my, actually,
shit. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Then my buddy Ryan and my brother and his friends. Yeah, like right there. This is like my buddy Ryan.
All from
like,
high school.
Yeah, from high school, who's now the handler. You know, we've been friends for like 10 plus years, but
you were the popular kid in high school then.
That just for that week, probably for that next week. They're like, damn, Jeff got in there, dude, for real.
Yeah.
You know,
your teachers are scared of you now and shit.
They're just like, holy crap. Like, we didn't even know people could do that, you know, like when you're in high school, but I was 18, so I was a little bit older.
Yeah. You have to wait till you're 18, right?
Unless your like parent signs off or whatever, which does happen. But, like,
cool.
Rare.
Well, they must have a lot of faith in their kid.
Yeah, that they're gonna be good at this.
You know what's funny is I was a recruiter in the Marine Corps, and then I always had to wait till the kid was 18 because when I get parent consent, it'd be like, nope, my son's not joining the military.
Yeah.
As soon as they turn 18, sorry, I got him.
Sorry, whether you like it or not, they want to go.
He's mine now.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, that was probably one of my shorter fights, but like, that's definitely the moment that I knew I was hooked.
Hell yeah.
You know, and I've never gone back since.
Oh, dude. And look where you are now, man.
Yeah. Like, and who would have thought, like, then I wouldn't have known. That's the thing. Like, my expectation of getting into this, like, I didn't know I was going to get this far. I just wanted to fight. Like, I was just like, I really like fighting. I'm curious about it. and I know I enjoy it. So like, I just want to get in there and do it.
So that 18-year-old kid that's in that video we just saw, you were just in the moment. You weren't thinking 10 years.
I wasn't thinking. No, that's the thing. Like, I think some people are like, my mind was made up.
I'm gonna be pro. I'm
gonna be the UFC champ. Like I didn't think that. I just wanted to see like how I would venture in the cage. You know, it was more curiosity than anything.
Got it. Oh
yeah.
Man.
So that was kind of the moment where I was like, okay, I'm hooked. I definitely like this.
Yeah.
I would say when I knew it was gonna be like I could do this for a living.
Yes.
Was I fought, and I don't know if it's on YouTube. It might not be.
Yeah.
It's an amateur fight. I fought this guy named Luke Folkens, who was training with Team Alpha Male at the time, and it was like the EAFL league had like the California Krakens, which was SoCal, versus like North Cal, and the fight was at 4 Point underneath Epic's banner, and the kid was like 5-0 with all 5 finishes in the first round.
Where were you at?
I was like, at the time, I think I was like 4-2 or 5.
Okay.
So like on paper, and he had fought at 185, was going down to 170. Yeah. I was 155 going up to 170.
Wow.
So like on paper, I was like, ooh, like this is going to be a tough matchup. And I knew it. And I knew going into the fight, but like I had never been put in all my fights. I've kind of like been there. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like I was like my head, I was there. In that fight, it was like it was like an out of body experience.
Yeah. So you were 4-2 at the time then.
Yeah.
And then how soon after, what am I trying to say here? When did you go pro? What was your record before you went pro?
8-3.
8-3. So you still had a couple more fights.
Yeah. I had a bunch more fights.
How soon do you fight? Let's say, for example, all right, let's just say, last night you fought.
Yeah.
How soon would you want to fight, or how soon could you fight?
It definitely depends on. My mind is like, if I'm healthy, I'll fight.
Really?
Like, yeah, for sure. Like for instance, it didn't happen, but so I fought my fight in Maryland.
Okay.
For Stellar Fights, and I won. I beat the crap out of the guy.
Yeah.
And so, but I got suspended for like 21 days in the state of Maryland. For just like I had like some scruff, marks like from the fight, whatever. So they're like, hey, we're gonna give you 21 days suspension.
Okay.
But like,
that's not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing.
Oh, okay.
But in this case, another Maryland promotion saw that I fought and was like, dude, we need a 170. Like, can you fight in 3 weeks? So literally the next, like, I got home that week.
Yeah.
And it was like, hey, can you fight? I was like, I think I'm suspended.
Did you have to get a waiver or something?
Dude, they would not waive me.
Oh.
The state would not waive me because my suspension was 1 day.
So you're at 20.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I was down. Like I was like, dude, I'm healthy. I'm good. It was a game opponent. It would have been a great win.
Was it sanctioned?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Then maybe that's why.
Oh, the state commission there is a little bit.
Let's just say under
high strung. I'll say that.
Let's just say, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna fight. What would have happened if they found out that you fought 20 days?
Oh, they would suspend me even longer in the state. If they would have made a mistake and found out, oh shoot, he was suspended.
Yeah.
And I knew it, they would suspend me even longer. I don't know how long, but they had told me like, hey, like they had found out, hey, we want to match Jeff up.
Yeah.
In the state athletic commissioner was like, well, he's suspended for the 21 days, and your event is the 20th day, and so we all got on a phone, and I was like, dude, I want to fight. I'm healthy.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't making a lot of money at the time, but I was like, dude, if I can rack up some money, real quick, like I'll do it.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, we're not gonna, just because you guys clashed heads in the fight a couple times and whatever. But like that's the thing. I'm one of those guys. If I'm healthy, like, I want to compete.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And there's times where you go into a fight, you get a submission. You really didn't exert your body. You didn't get punched.
Yeah.
So there's really no recovery time.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So shit, I'll fight the next day if you want.
Yeah.
But and I guess what I'm assuming is, your body takes a toll. You're sore. You get, black eyes. You get cut. Yeah. So there is a recovery time. Which is a couple weeks.
Couple weeks. Yeah. And I mean, it's sometimes it's not the right, not for all fighters to be like, oh, I'm gonna jump back in there. Maybe it's just like, hey, I'm going to take some time just to work on my skills. Like, I'm healthy, but like, I want to make these jumps in these parts of my game. And that's what keeps them out, which I'm all for. Mm-hmm. But, like for me in my pro career, I've always thought that I've had the skill.
Yes.
And, I just wanted to make money and get to the UFC. So like, that's why I was like, all right, I'm down to fight. So that's why I've had some short notice fights. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Tomorrow you join the UFC.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
How
that's
much,
a good scenario. I
yeah,
like the sound of that already.
Hold on, my phone's ringing.
Yeah,
what's up, Dana?
Yeah.
All right, I'm on my way. Once you join,
Yep.
how many good years do you think you have left once you join the UFC?
Ooh, so if I were to join tomorrow, I would say I'm 29.
Yeah.
I would say 8 to 9 years.
8 to 9
and I will
years.
say that, and I'll say that just due to the fact that I've had no major surgery since doing this. I've only been concussed maybe twice that I know of.
Okay.
And so I feel like I'm pretty sharp.
Okay,
good.
mentally
and just like, and my I'm just peaking now.
So you want to stop before your 40s?
Yeah.
Okay,
correct.
got it.
Yeah, and I think too with like the advances in technology and like obviously the lifestyle that you have to live. You can expand that career.
Dude, the science at UFC, the doctors you have there, all that, bro, you probably can fight till you're 100. But
exactly.
Obviously, you're not.
Yeah. But like that's the thing. Like now that technology is where it's at, and the UFC has like the UFC PI.
Yeah.
You know, a place like that. If I were to get in tomorrow and I use those services and I live the lifestyle I've been living, I think I could go another 9 or 10 years.
And you get those for free too, huh?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Man.
It's such an advantage. Like,
I would love just to pay for 3 months. I just want to be there and get trained for 3 months.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
well,
so
good, bro.
Yeah. I actually got a funny story. Shout outs to Haley on this one. So we were in Vegas with a bunch of friends.
Because that's where it's at.
Yeah, it's in Vegas. And so we were there for vacation, but then I wanted to compete in a jiu-jitsu tournament. I competed in high rollers. So high rollers is this event where like they smoke a ton of marijuana and you roll jiu-jitsu and like the best man wins. You win.
What?
Yes, high rollers.
It's like the Cheech of
it's so
fighting.
awesome. It's so awesome. And I don't even smoke a lot of weed. Like, I'm not a big weed smoker, but it was pretty cool. But before we went, the place where the high rollers was at was right next to the PI.
Really?
So I was like, dude, we can't go in there. My wife's like, I'm going to go in and try to use the bathroom, whatever, and see what they say.
Yeah, she's a girl.
She's a girl. They let her. Nope. They sent her ass right out the door. She's like,
security, get this lady out of here.
Hey, yeah.
Wow.
She was like, please, I need to use the bathroom.
I gotta go pee.
No, they wouldn't let her in.
Damn it.
So, but yeah, it's a cool place.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
so you just been on the outside.
I've been on the outside looking in, but I want to go in.
Building? Did you touch the building?
I definitely sat there in the parking lot and was like, damn, this is where I belong to be.
Yeah. What's her name? Sarah was talking about manifesting.
Yeah, things like that. Yeah, and I being in that parking lot, like, looking at the building, I was like, damn, like
that's gonna be my parking spot
right there. Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah, right next to Dana.
Yep.
Right. I don't think you'll be parking there. You'll be parking on the other side of the building.
Yeah.
Yeah. All the newer guys parking behind the building.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, I've actually met Dana too.
Did you?
I have. Yeah, it was a brief meeting, but I did get to meet him. I went to UFC fights probably a year and a half ago with Joe Stevenson.
Okay.
We went to, it was Sergey Pavlovich versus Curtis Blades.
This was in Florida?
No, Vegas. At the Apex.
Okay.
So a little bit, the cool thing about the Apex is when you go in there, it's a lot more homier. Like it's not a huge arena. So like you can see all sorts of people there.
Good.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so sure enough, Dana saw Joe and, came over, said, what's up?
Yeah.
So I got to talk to him a little bit.
That's
He's like, oh, this is my fighter. And actually Dana's he's a pretty normal guy. Like
He's very humble.
Very humble. I don't know a ton about him, but
yeah,
like the meeting that I had, I was like, oh, this guy's a pretty chill guy.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully at some point, he becomes my boss. I was like, and I told him, I was like, dude, like, keep an eye on me because I'm, I'm coming.
That's good, bro.
So,
that's It's hanging around with the right people, man. And, don't burn bridges just yet, man.
Don't burn bridges unless you really need to, man.
Yeah.
Especially in this game, you don't know when you.
Well, if they're trying to bring you down, you got to burn it. You know what I'm saying? But if they're trying to raise you up, you're like, hey, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Since you brought up Dana White, we go to a restaurant here in La Jolla.
Oh yeah.
And we know the owner.
Okay.
So we were just talking, and he goes, "Yeah, Dana White was sitting here yesterday."
Wow.
I'm like,
damn.
Really, bro?
You're 1 day off.
1 day off. It was my booth, and he was right there. And what's funny is a week prior, 2 weeks prior, he goes, yeah, and Canelo was sitting there.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Ryan Garcia was sitting there. And I'm like,
you could have had your podcast in the restaurant,
dude,
my guy.
I'm like, why do I come on the wrong time? Mm-hmm. And what's funny is we always go on Sundays. Well, I told my wife we need to start going
Saturdays. We're changing our day. We're changing our day now.
Hell yeah, man!
That's
so
cool.
I was like, damn it.
Yeah, I know he's in San Diego a lot because his son goes to school out here. So
I didn't know that.
He's in college. Yeah, I think he goes to
UCSD or San Diego State.
Yeah, San Diego. It's one of those schools.
Yeah,
but he's out here. So he comes out here a lot. Yeah, from what I hear.
And what's funny is the guy that we know. His name is Ivica. What's up, Ivica?
I like that name.
Yeah. We asked him the last time. I said, "Hey, do you have Dana's number on your phone?" He goes, "Well, I can't say or deny.
I can't disclose that information."
And I'm like, "Do me a favor, just leave your phone right there on the table.
Unlock it, pull up his just leave it right there.
Because they'll text him.
Oh, okay.
They'll text him saying, "Hey, I'm going to be there. Hold us a table." And he was like, "No problem." And that's what I do with him. I say, "Hey, we're going to be there." So, and I said, "Do me a favor. Just make sure you text me."
Speed dial you when he comes in.
The eagle has landed.
The eagle has landed. Come in.
Babe, we got to go.
We got to go right now.
Hell yeah. I honestly, I wouldn't know what to say if I met him. Just, "Hey, what's up? Big fan." That's it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, for coming in. We're gonna change the actual the format.
Okay.
I had a lot of people write in. Okay. I actually posted a picture of you saying that we're having the Jazzy Jeff in the podcast to ask the questions. But I have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
And then after that, we'll go into some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
And then we'll call it a day. Sounds good?
Awesome.
I like your logo though.
Thank you, bro.
JJ.
It's very clean.
Jazzy
right?
Jeff.
Jazzy
It's simple.
Jeff. It's very simple.
It's clean. Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a good logo.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So let me do this. Let me pull up the questions.
Okay.
And then if there's some questions that you don't want to answer, just go ahead and say pass. There's nothing personal.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm an open book.
Yeah. What kind of boxers you wear? All right. Some are. I read some of them. Some of them are kind of funny, and some are like, oh, okay, let me think about it.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Here's one question. If you could have any superpower to use in the cage, what would it be?
Ooh.
It could be Mortal Kombat, Hadouken.
Dude, if I could have the Force like Star Wars, dude, fights would be way easier. You just zoom him out of the cage, bro. This is my cage.
Yeah.
I think that would be like, I watched a lot of Star Wars growing up.
That's me. I was a Star Wars geek.
The Force.
The Force.
The Force.
Hell yeah. Would you tell anybody that you had it, or would you just use it?
I just break it out on my UFC debut and throw the guy out of the cage, then everybody knows.
Hell yeah!
I feel like it's one of those that you probably, if you had that superpower, you wouldn't be able to say it because they wouldn't even let you in the cage.
Absolutely,
if they knew it. So
you know what? I saw your merch when you walked in, and I've seen it at the fight. But this question is going to basically represent, and I already know the answer. I'm just going to ask it because somebody wrote it.
Yeah.
Which animal do you think best represents you in fighting style, and why?
Yeah, I would say, I got the lion.
The lion.
I like the lion.
But that's taken already, though.
That's already taken.
It's already taken.
Omar the lion,
man.
my boy.
I think he took it from you, man. Omar, you're bootlegging his logo, man.
He's definitely got the lion.
Yeah.
If I was that's a good question. I would say
I would be a baboon, bro.
They're nasty, man.
Yeah.
Nasty. I would say, you know what? Like, people have said, like a cat. You know why? Because when a cat falls, never hits its back flat.
Yeah.
They're like, bro, you're just scrappy. Like, in all my exchanges. So as much as cats kind of people think cats kind of a wimp right off the bat. When you see cats fight, they never hit their back.
No.
So it's just real scrappy.
Okay.
So maybe a cat.
A cat?
Yeah.
Cool. Is that going to be your new fighter name?
No, absolutely not. But hey, I'll stay with Jazzy
Jeff. Yeah, meow. Creighton. Hell
boy.
Yeah, man. Here's another question.
All right.
If your life would turn into a movie,
oh man,
who would you cast to play you?
Ooh, who would I cast to play me?
Let's see. Let's look at him.
What's an actor that looks like me? I get Hey, who's the guy from the new 007? What's his name?
Daniel Craig.
Everybody,
but he's kind of old though. Bro.
Kind of older. Yeah, I would. I don't even know the younger actors, but I'll just say, as far as actors that I've gotten, hey, you kind of look like. Yeah. People say Daniel Craig.
Okay, Daniel Craig. I see.
With the hair to the side and combed over, and then when it's
we got to put you in a Tom Ford suit.
Yeah, we'll get Daniel Craig in some on some TRT or HG.
There you go,
Make him
man.
look young.
We'll just CGI him.
Yeah, exactly.
Jason Statham.
Get pictures of him when he's in his 20s and play.
There you go. Cool, man. Let's see. What is the craziest or funniest thing that you ever heard from a fan?
Oh man. Oh, this is a good.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got this one. I got to think about.
Okay, got you.
The craziest thing I've gotten from a fan.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not famous enough where I've gotten anything too crazy yet. As far as people saying things to me.
Yeah.
I'm on the road a lot, going to these fights where I know nobody. Yeah. Please get a picture with my kid, stuff like that. That happens a lot.
Do you get recognized in public?
You know what? When I go to Sacramento, yeah.
Oh, cool.
So only because of that fight that I had the draw in.
Got it.
So I've fought at the Hard Rock there in Sacramento like 3 times now.
Okay.
So like now people start to recognize me there, and like the staff's like, "Oh, Jazzy Jeff's back."
Yeah.
But like I've never gotten anything that was like, "Well, this is some weird shit." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm sure it'll happen when I'm in the UFC though. I guarantee that.
Yeah.
So.
Were you Team Quest at one point? That's not a question. I'm just asking. Yeah. You're Team Quest.
Yes.
So because of Dan Henderson, or were you also Cobra Kai because of Joe Stevenson?
So yeah, it was a little bit of it was strange. So Joe taught on Mondays and Wednesdays at Dan's.
Okay.
So he would come over from Cobra Kai. Teach at Dan's. So he would like help run the team practices and keep the team guys on track.
Yeah.
And so also I wore Dan's logo, the Team Quest logo, and then I'd also wear Cobra Kai's logo because, I'm in the gym, Team Quest gym, but Joe is my head coach.
Got it.
So I wore both logos at one point.
Okay.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
Here's another question, and I think they know something about you, but here we go.
Oh, boy.
Who in your gym has the worst smelling gear?
Oh, man.
If you can't say their name, that's fine.
Oh, the
but
worst
is there
smelling gear?
That's probably an inside question.
I'll say, that's the worst smelling.
John Bromley.
Actually, if we're going Team Quest edition, that answer might check out. Not gonna lie.
Damn.
No, I would say at the gym that I'm at now, at the Backroom Boys. Ooh, I'm gonna say.
He's dropping names.
I'm gonna drop Hulk Hands. That's all I'll say. That's not a name, but the guys who know the Backroom Boys, they know the Hulk Hands.
The Hulk Hands.
Hulk Hands.
Okay, Hulk Hands. So whoever Hulk Hands is. All right, here's a funny one. Well, that was a funny one.
Yeah.
But here's another one.
Okay.
What hurts more, a leg kick or stepping on a Lego?
Oh, stepping on a Lego. Hey, if you bear down on that kick. Or you check, it's all good. But you step on that Lego, it don't matter how hard you step on that Lego. That's gonna hurt more. It's gonna hurt.
Like a little bitch, bro.
Yeah, facts.
Fuck, man.
Oh, facts.
Oh man, let's see. We got a couple more.
Heck yeah.
Hell yeah.
These are good. I like these. These are good.
I always do that. I always post something out there. My wife will post it, and then people sometimes they're just trolling. So we pick out the
that's half of social media nowadays is trolls.
Especially during the election time.
Oh yeah.
Okay. This one's kind of long, but I'll read it.
Yeah.
Would you rather be undefeated but only win by decision, or have few losses but win every fight by knockout?
Ooh, I would say the second one.
Every knockout.
I would say lose a couple but win everyone by knockout.
So you rather have 10 knockouts than 50 decisions?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I think nobody's gonna remember the guy who has 50 decisions, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I know that, and this is the thing too, like my record is like, I think I have 6 finishes out of the 11. So I still have over 50% finish rate.
Yeah.
Like, I still finish fights, but
just
hasn't been as of late.
Right. So, let's see. Here's another would you rather. Would you rather fight a zombie with boxing gloves or a vampire with MMA gloves? That's
Whoa.
a good one. I wonder who wrote that in. I know who wrote it in.
Did you? Do you?
Who
wrote that one in?
Somebody wrote it. It's on the comments.
Oh, it's on. Okay.
I told them though it'll be. I won't put their names out there.
I'll say boxing gloves the zombie.
With the zombie?
Yeah, because then I have more padding. If the vampire bites the glove, you're still screwed.
Yeah.
No glove, no padding in that.
There you go.
MMA glove.
All right. Well, this is going to tell you right here. Who's your favorite Arab?
Yeah.
Who is your favorite Arab?
Oh, Omar.
And that's exactly what they wrote.
Buddy. Yeah, no, I would say my brother Omar, for sure.
Omar, the lion
Riyadh, yeah,
Hell
for sure. I know definitely he wrote that one.
Did you meet Omar at Dan Henderson's?
Yeah, that's how I met him. Yeah. And then we kind of had like so he wrestled a little bit at Poway.
Okay.
He's like, oh yeah, I'm from Poway. And I was like, oh shoot, I wrestled at Poway.
Yeah.
And then we kind of just hit it off, and then he was my student for a while. And
so you were his coach?
Yeah.
That's right, Jeff.
Yeah,
Jeff
now he's like my little brother. Even though I'm not coaching him, like I'm not, there every day with him, like he's still a little brother with me. Him and Khalid.
The kid's 5-0, bro.
Dude, the kid's the future.
5-0.
That kid could be a world champ if he wants. That's how I tell everybody. They're like, dude, what do you think, Omar? Yeah. I'm like, Omar could be a world champ if he wants. It's just up to him.
Do you think he's ready to go pro, or he still needs a little bit more time?
I would say, man, he's had such a crazy amateur career.
Yeah.
I think he's probably got 1 or 2 more.
2 more, yeah.
And I think he wins Spar Star title, and then he wins Camo State title, and Send him on his way.
Yeah, send him on his way. Yeah, that's exactly what he told me.
Yeah.
He said he has a couple good more, and then he wants to go pro.
I think so.
I think he said by the time he's 21, he wants to go pro. He's
That's
20
a good
now.
goal. That's
a good goal.
That's when I went pro. So yeah.
Oh hell yeah! Really?
21. Yep.
Oh,
and I lost my pro debut. So that
doesn't matter. You're still pro.
Doesn't matter, dude.
You're still.
But that's
pro.
what I tell people because if people who lose their pro debut, that kind of really discourages them.
Yeah.
And I just was like, all right, I lost. I'll just accept it and get better.
Hell yeah. All right, brother. Let me see. Let's go into some rapid fire questions.
All right.
And then I have one question that I ask everybody at the end of the podcast.
Okay.
Here we go. Rapid fire. So, what's your pre-fight meal?
Ooh, I go. It's rice, potatoes, and like a seasoned steak.
So just carbs and protein.
Yep.
Got you. Who's your favorite fighter?
I'm gonna say MMA. I'm gonna say George St. Pierre.
Oh.
I just think he was the most well-rounded. He was the most.
Him and BJ Penn were always my favorite.
So good.
Yeah.
I mean, if you ask me other styles of fighting, man, I could go like boxing, Vasily Lomachenko.
Okay.
Yeah, I got all. Yeah.
And the reason
we start getting into another.
The reason
topic.
I asked you that question because it leads into the second question.
Okay.
If you were to fight George St. Pierre to get into the UFC, would you fight him?
Yeah, of course.
You would.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah, if that's what I meant, then yeah, absolutely.
That's your audition. If you win, you're in. If you're boom, you're out.
I'll do what I got to do.
Yeah. Wow.
I'll find a way.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Respect George St. Pierre, but still.
Yeah. Do you think you'd win?
Anytime I get in that cage, I think I'm going to win.
Good. I was like, well, maybe.
If I didn't get in there, then the answer.
If I can defend this, right? All right. Your biggest strength, bro?
Grit.
Yes, yeah. Grit. When do you think you started getting your grit?
From a young age.
So it wasn't your first fight. Your dad?
No, not my dad.
Yeah,
for sure. He just made us work hard. He was a good example. Mm-hmm. And he was like that dad. He's like, all right, you're gonna do chores. You're gonna do certain things.
Yeah.
And then he would take me running. And like I said, because he was a good runner. And so I just think from that, like he made me push.
Good.
And I think that's where I got it from.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Now here's a question for me. It's not on here, but this is since we had a conversation earlier.
Yeah.
You hunt.
Yeah.
Do you would you rather use crossbow or gun or rifle?
I rather use rifle.
You rather use rifle?
Yeah, I think rifle you can shoot a whole lot farther.
Yeah.
And then crossbow or bow, you need a lot of practice.
Yes.
Like with a rifle, I could shoot once a year and then I could like go hunt. Versus a bow or a crossbow, it's like I got to shoot it a decent amount to be good at it.
Have you shot any game?
Yeah. I've shot whitetail deer.
Really?
Whitetail deer, turkey, foxes. I've shot a lot of stuff back on the. I show you pictures. Yeah, it's pretty sick. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I was actually on the cover of a magazine when I was a kid.
Really?
Yeah, for opening day. When I was like 9, I shot like the first year I ever shot.
Yeah.
It's like a huge 9-pointer. Like huge. Like
really?
one of the biggest in the States.
Was that a competition?
No. No. Just on a farm. If on the farm, my dad took me out. Deer walked out at like right when the sun was coming up. My dad was like, I was like, Dad, it's got horns. I was looking through my scope. Yeah. It was actually a good story. And so.
What rifle was it real quick?
243. Single shot. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Single shot. One of those where there's a little like release on the side and you can pop open the barrel and slide one round in. So just a basic like 243, but I was looking through the scope at this deer, and you couldn't even see it yet because it was light was coming up, and I was like, Dad, it's big. He's like, well, don't you want to wait till the sun comes up? Like we'll see what. And I was like, Dad, I'm telling you, it's got big horns. And he's like, Go ahead if you want. And then just I took a shot, dude. Let it out slow, hold, squeeze, boom. And we couldn't find the deer for a minute. When we were tracking it.
Did it take off?
Took off, yeah.
Oh, you had to find. Oh,
so,
shit.
But we found it. My dad was like, he didn't believe it. He didn't he didn't believe it that it was my deer. So we tracked it back to the spot where it stood. Yeah. He's like, holy crap, that was your deer.
Wow.
Yeah. Great first hunting experience.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Who's been your toughest opponent?
Ooh,
Haley.
My wife. She's been pretty tough, but not that tough. I would say, as far as fighting goes, let's say Joaquin Lopez.
Yeah. Respect, brother. Who is your dream fight? It doesn't matter if it's in pro or UFC. If you, like I said, we talked about George St. Pierre. Who would be your dream fight? You know what?
Dude, I could. The grand perfect scenario.
Yeah.
170. I'm just looking. I'm gonna say.
That's a deep ass thought, right there.
I'm just thinking. No, I'm just thinking like, as far as guys, like I would just like love to fight.
Yeah. Not for championships, not for just to say I want to fight you. Just to say, hey, let's go down, bro. Let's grapple.
Yeah, I'm gonna say. I'll say BJ Penn at 170.
Really?
Yeah,
BJ
I like
Penn.
like in a stadium or something like that. Something huge. In Hawaii.
Exhibition.
Yeah, like something crazy like that. I mean, there's so many great fighters.
Yeah.
In that, like, kind of in that 170 range too. Like, another guy, Tyrone Woodley. Like, I've always, you don't know Tyrone Woodley?
No.
Oh, bro, you gotta catch up on him.
I do.
He's very like he's old. He's older.
Okay.
He's not in the UFC anymore. He was a UFC champ.
Got it.
But like, I don't know. There's just some really good fighters. I mean, obviously Connor, but Connor's kind of gone downhill a little bit. But I'd still love to fight him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What
Like,
about Khabib?
I'd fight Khabib.
Would you fight Khabib?
Yeah, I'd fight Khabib.
Fuck yeah.
I'd fight. I mean, that's the thing. I think there's nobody that I wouldn't fight.
Yeah, it's true.
But like,
true.
it's
like,
respect. But respect that. Like, if I can make those big dream fights happen at some point,
yeah.
like that's when I know. Like, all right, I made it. You know?
What's his partner? His younger guy that hangs out with him?
Makhachev. It's like, yeah, I'd fight him too.
Really?
Yeah, if he goes up the one side. I think, you know what? As much as this is, everybody kind of gives him flack.
Yeah.
Leon Edwards.
Leon Edwards.
I think it's a good. I think it'd be a great fight.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
And any of the guys at 170 that were UFC champ, I'll fight them.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Cats or dogs?
I'm gonna say dogs.
Dogs. I'm a dog guy too, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm a big coffee guy. I love coffee.
Yeah.
Like
you ever have the mushroom coffee?
What the what?
Mushroom coffee.
What the fuck is that?
Like cordyceps or like reishi, like any of those like mushrooms that are like good for your health.
No, is it a powder you put it in there?
You can do powder. You can do K. They have K pods of it. And
wow.
I have K pod machine. That's what I'm on right now.
What does that do?
It's just good for your health. Like there's certain mushrooms out there that are good. Like cordyceps it opens up your lungs.
Really?
Yeah, just stuff like that. So I'm on a kick. I'll give you. I got
please,
you. I got you.
Please. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
All right, man. What is your dream sponsorship deal?
Bass Pro Shop.
Bass Pro Shop.
Yep.
Really?
That's my Bass Pro Shop.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Wow.
I've always gone to. I just love Bass Pro Shop. I've gone as a kid.
There you go.
Yeah, man. Seen the fish tank. Like,
yeah.
I went when I was in Texas.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so awesome. I was looking at all the fishing stuff. I was like, dude, if I had all the money in the world, I would buy this whole place.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
Now, here we go. One more.
Okay.
Padres or Dodgers?
The good thing is, I'm not really a big fan of either one of them, but I go Padres.
You go Padres?
Yeah, for sure.
Chargers or
I like the stadium and the team. You know, I think the Padres, they have one guy on there, and because they don't do too well, but they spend a lot of money on guys.
Yeah.
And I forget what his name is, but I'm not even a big Padres fan.
Is it
but
Mercado? Mercado?
No, not Mercado. Other guy.
Tony Gwynn? No.
Yeah, no.
That was my last Padres.
Yeah, but
the last time I watched the Padres, Tony Gwynn, Steve Sachs, all the old school guys were there. That's the last time I watched it.
Yeah.
But, I'm just saying that because the World Series with the Dodgers. So
yeah,
I noticed that
and
Padres
were so close too, man.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And the last question, brother, that I ask every freaking fighter that comes through here is, if you were to fight a Ninja Turtle, who would you fight and why?
Oh, man.
And I'll give you a quick, while you're thinking about it. Omar picked Michelangelo. Everyone else, Jeff, Nasty Nate, and David, they picked Donatello. Yeah. And then my bare knuckle fighter, Daniel Alvarez, he picked Rafael because he was the toughest. And you know what's funny is, and then shout out to Sarah Valencia.
I like that one.
She picked Splinter.
She
goes, I want to find the rat. I said, you want to fight the rat? Yeah, because she wants to beat him and become the master of the Ninja Turtles. But now back to you. Which Ninja Turtle?
I'll go Donatello.
Donatello.
I'll go Donatello.
For why?
That's a good question. Why would I go?
Because of the staff. That's it.
Yeah, I wasn't huge in the Ninja Turtles, but like, if I had to fight one, I'd fight him.
You fight the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, that's one of the most unique questions to end a podcast.
I tell you what, man, you'll see.
That's branding on your part right there. I like that.
The thing is, if you look at all the question, that one goes viral all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
I wish I could have gave you a better answer. I'm just not huge in the Ninja Turtles.
I think the biggest one is 6,700 views. Just because of that, because you put the right
there's tons
hashtags.
of fans, man.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah, and then there's people out talking shit. It goes, I thought this was a freaking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I didn't know this was a fighting fucking podcast. I'm like, it's a question, bro. It's a fucking question.
Don't take it so serious.
Absolutely. Well, Jeff, thank you so much for coming in, brother.
Gotcha.
I appreciate man.
Appreciate you guys too.
Absolutely, man. Do you want to shout out any sponsors?
I'll first shout out Pellegrino.
Pellegrino sponsor the show. Come on now.
Yeah, first I want to thank my family.
Yeah.
First and foremost, my wife, her family. We're all one big family.
Good.
And then as far as sponsorships go, I'll thank 100% chiropractor in Temecula.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I work with them, even though I'm not really in Temecula that much anymore. And then CVAC as well, which is kind of like hyperbaric chamber, but even better. If you're in the Temecula area, go check out CVAC. I want to thank Studio 910, which is Nikki Myers out in Jacksonville, North Carolina. Thank you. And that's it as far as sponsors. But I just want to thank everybody who supported me along the way. Like this couldn't happen without you guys. Yeah. And the biggest is yet to come.
Yeah.
So
you gained a fan with me, bro.
Hey,
you gained a fan.
I
appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah. Because Jeff Peterson, the administrator, he actually goes, "Hey,
that's such a great nickname, by the way, dude. I love it.
Well, he was in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
So him and him we just got along because of that.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, again, thank you so much. And like always, I do have gifts. So, brother.
That's cool.
So what I do, and you already know I was in the Marine Corps.
Yes.
So what I like doing is I like giving fighters a piece of the Marine Corps from me.
Wow.
That makes sense.
What
so,
a great,
So I give him the gold dog tags.
Wow.
Yeah. And then this is subscribe right there.
Wow, dude, this is so cool.
Yeah. So hang them, do whatever you want. It's just a small gift for me. I wish I can pay these fighters. Beautiful. Yeah, man. So keep those in health.
Thank you so much.
And I need a gift from you, bro.
You need a gift from me?
I need you to sign the table,
Hey,
brother.
I got you.
So please, if you don't mind, sign the table. You can see we have a lot of fighters. There's Sarah right there. I'm going to move this out of the way.
I'm going to go right here.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah. DJ Jazzy Jeff in the house. Hell yeah, look at that. It's official.
Yep.
And if you don't mind, go ahead and put...
what is it, December 24?
Yeah. Just put December and then 2024. Cool.
I'll put one more thing.
Yeah, man. Oh, you'll see. I'll take a picture and post. I know you see exactly what he's posting on there. So what he's doing, he's putting this into fruition now. So guess what? It's official. Boom. There it is, brother. There it is. Thank you so much for blessing the table.
Thank you.
Eventually, what I want to do is once this table gets filled up, I want to put it on Valiant's wall.
Oh, sick.
And then I'll probably start another one.
What a good piece of something to put in the
gym.
Yeah.
Or I can sell it on eBay for $3 million.
I was going to say, it'll be worth that much by the time it's...
Especially with that new signature right there, brother.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, Jeff, thank you so much again, brother.
Thank you.
I appreciate everything, and good luck, brother.
Hey, thank you.
We'll keep us posted.
Absolutely.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely. Hey, I appreciate it.
Take care.
Yep, you too.